right, we are trying.
Wow, technical difficulties.
Yes.
That were not caused by me.
Right. Yeah, this week has been brutal as far as live streaming. Jeez. Yeah, so I think Restream was. We're still lagging again. Yeah, it keeps dropping. So sorry, guys. We'll hang in there. I'm not sure what this audio is sounding like when we're
sitting around.
Yeah, when it's coming through.
It's been at 60 frames a second for a while, and it's like not horrifically. Well, people are chatting again. Oh, and it's not like the frame rate is, or the bit rate is horrifically different than what it was before. There's a bit of a delay, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, these are... Sorry, the notifications are coming in hot
Thick
and
fast.
heavy. Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
3 minutes ago, let's see.
I've been spamming the notices here. Oh, no, yeah. I don't know what any of these services are thinking. Yeah, we're still dropping way down, so I'm not sure if this is gonna work.
What's it supposed to be at?
Everything says it's good. It just is saying fair, so right. I think that's what's coming from. Oh, maybe Matt will update us. Came back for a bit, but now it's acting like you ended. Uh-oh. Yeah. Keep reconnecting to YouTube. YouTube gets a little squirrely. They don't like you.
Let's see how much of a delay it is between here and my phone.
Oh, it should. Yeah,
it's like a solid 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, it's pretty big.
I'm connected to.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just putting these little fragments up. So maybe YouTube still doesn't like what we're sending it. Nice. Oh wow, yeah. I think Restream is having trouble because it just kicked me out. It just kicked me out. Yeah, we're sending it things and it doesn't want to hear it. All right. We can hear ourselves.
Doesn't want to hear it. I might be back.
Yeah, I think we might. Well, let us know if you see or hear anything. What a week of...
There you go.
All right. Yeah, what a week of streaming it's been. We are live.
All right, we're back.
Third time is a charm.
Is it? What's charming about number 3?
All right. Okay, yeah, so we're hanging in there now. It seemed to be something with Restream because nothing else was...
Everything's green now.
Yep. We're green 5 by 5.
Oh, no Monty Python references. All right, that was not a Monty Python reference. I don't want to lose my nerd cred, right? But like, first thing that popped in my mind, Star Wars. All right, and we're just a hop, skipping, and jumping away from like quoting. You know.
Well, there's a whole game for that now, so you can confine your Monty Python to an actual TTRPG.
Do you want to?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, with the something like that is odd. I guess the original creators are they're getting paid hopefully, but they're not the surviving members.
The surviving ones, yeah.
But they're not contributing, so it's not. Is it really a Monty Python? It's just like I don't know, just an homage.
What else would it really be though?
No, but I mean, get the surviving members to actually write something that other people could elaborate on. Like do some sort of just ideas and maybe that was I didn't read enough about it, so maybe there was some suggestion about.
Or maybe there's like an introduction by or something like that.
Right. Yes. At least there's some sort of endorsement, some sort of seal of approval. I don't know.
But then again,
we're back down to fair.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so we might have to do this in solitude and just send you photos. Send you photos from our endeavors here.
Measure your success. Not a lot.
Yeah, we're not going to be measuring
not
any.
Succeeding.
Oh, guys, sorry. Oh, you're in the pipe 555 aliens. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So at least Matt can hear us.
Ooh, we're not talking to ourselves into the void.
Oh, man. Yeah, so it seems like we're getting a little... Yeah, it's just a little fussy. Yeah, because Restream keeps kicking me out, so I'm not sure what that exactly means. Okay, here we go. Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a whole monitoring analytics thing for Restream.
Oh, wow.
So we've been doing this for 7 minutes, and it seems, what we're sending is constant, so I'm not sure.
Okay. So it's definitely not us.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess anything over 4, it's going to call bad because they
don't want it over 4.
Yeah, YouTube and stuff is. Yeah. Hey, Abyss is back.
Ooh.
We are back.
So we're getting people back.
Yes. Nice. Yeah. So sorry about that. Anybody that wants to find this now that the notifications, there's like 5 notifications.
Oh, yeah,
for 45 seconds. You know, the stream is starting screens.
I like their stuff, but they only stream for about not even a minute.
Yeah, maybe I need to 3D print some tusks, like something with some curve to it. Yeah, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Find something.
What are you looking at over there?
Oh, I'm just trying to think if I can use these bow.
Oh,
I don't want to start cutting on these bow arms until I know that
you can
it's
use
gonna
them.
it's gonna be useful.
Yeah,
nice.
that's the thing, right? You're just like, I've now.
Yeah, just have guys holding like a little grip. Yeah, they got a little grip in their hands. What?
I've now cut all these bows and they don't fit. Yeah. And that's why I do such extensive use of blue tack. Miniatures, right?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh yeah, can I borrow a little piece of that? Because actually that might be a good way to test.
There
so
you go.
I'll sacrifice. Oh, wow. Got a little bit. There's
just a smidgen of blue tack. There you go. Right? Yeah. That was the smallest size I could buy at the dollar store.
Oh right.
But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So I can at least I want to see like position wise.
Yeah. No, I've extensively blue tacked all the stuff I've put together recently. And oh, by the way, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have wondered why the miniature photos have tapered off and to be replaced with pixel art stuff. Okay, it's because the apartment I live in, we only have Ooh, this is going to be about Japan, right? When you bought, did you buy a Japanese? Not buy, but when you rent a Japanese apartment, I was kind of like things can come fully furnished. I was surprised at how unfurnished they were, right? Mm-hmm. Like there are holes in the wall for you to put like your air conditioning duct, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's only 2. There are 2 spots in our apartment that have holes in the wall where you can run the ducts through, right? Meaning there's only you can't choose where to put the air conditioner, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like this. I'm saying air conditioner. Here it's both a heating and a cooling unit, right? Mm-hmm. It's almost kind of like a little kind of central air thing, right? So if you talk to a Japanese person and they're like, "Oh yeah, I crank my AC all winter," you're like, "What? That doesn't sound right." It's both, right? Anyway. The whole thing is like we have one heating cooling unit in the living room, dining room. We got to use it looks like a radiator thing that you plug in. It's electric, but the radiator coils are like filled with oil. This oil heater thing, right? We have one of those for the bedroom, and we have a couple like space heaters for other places, right? Anyway, the computer room / hobby room is freezing, right? Like we're down to like close to 0 degrees out here in Osaka at night. Probably even colder out where you are.
Yeah.
I'm surprised my paints haven't all frozen because that's where I keep them, right? Anyway, like I was working on, on the computer a little bit last night for like 2.5 hours. I couldn't feel my fingers by the time I was done, right?
Wow.
So there's no way I'm paint like I can't paint in the living room, because the light is too bright, because then it leaks into the bedroom and keeps my partner and our kid awake. Mm-hmm. So can't do that unless they're out of the house. They're not ever out of the house at night. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to paint when I'm just like literally from cold in this freezing computer room.
Your stippling technique is amazing.
Exactly, amazing. How did you get that random pattern? Right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's why Instagram there's been like no update on Lord Perry's Dragoons and all that stuff. Because A, my paint's frozen, and B, I wouldn't be able to sit in the room for that long anyway. So yeah, hopefully when things warm up, I'll be able to do it again. But then from the time that things get warm enough to the time I have to move to a new apartment is going to be a month, right? Probably not that much. I'm not looking forward to... I'm definitely going to enjoy the larger apartment, hopefully with a second heating unit, with a much larger room for hobby space, right?
Right.
Like my kid already said, like, Dada, that's going to be like the Lego room, right? And I'm like, yes, it is going to be the Lego room, right? But yeah,
Nice.
I'm not looking forward to having to box everything up.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who likes moving?
No, I don't.
I didn't think so. And if you do, you should go get that checked out.
Yes. Oh, Matt was asking about factions for Oathmark. So in the core book,
the thing we're actually here to do.
Oh, the thing we're doing. Yeah, that's right. So in the core book.
All right, while you're talking about that.
Bum, bum, bum. It's basically. Oh, they don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, in the core book, it's just dwarf, human, elf, goblin, orc. Right. Are the four basic core factions, but then there's been expansions released. So I'll look on the this little army planner. So I know there's undead factions and things now. So you have dwarf, human, come on, ogres, and then elves. Come on. Oh, this is not designed particularly well. And then each of the factions also has kind of the monsters and things that it has access to. Yeah, I can't scroll down this list very well, but I know there's undead now, revenant, and there we go, skeleton and revenant forces as well. It's not coming up. Yeah, I have PDFs, but I don't have physical books of the expansions, which I probably should as we continue on. But there are, as far as the miniatures that they've made, there's Revenant, Skeleton, and I don't think there's anything else. But those were the two, just the undead factions were the biggest expansion, Revenant and Skeleton.
That was the only new kind of race.
And that gives you Necromancer. Yeah, that gives you Necromancer for your spellcaster as well. And I saw here too there were ogres. I'm not sure which faction can get ogres, but ogre line breakers and
I think it's humans.
Oh,
maybe
enslaving some ogres. Ooh. Nice.
Fall over my chair again.
Cool.
Come back.
Yeah, so very very standard fantasy races. They haven't added anything too strange to
I would
unique.
almost, not that there's no factions, but it's not like you have kingdoms,
right,
and you have races or species, right? And the core book had human, elf, dwarf, orc, and goblin. And orc and goblin were kind of one entry list, but you had to specify whether your capital city was orc city or goblin city,
right,
and that got you different things, right? Oh, sorry.
Okay, Goblin King.
And the reason there's probably no factions is because of how the kingdoms are built.
Right.
We were talking last time. Oh, it's buried under all my stuff. Oh, there you go. I can't see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. We restarted. Yes. So, the sheet. Yeah, the...
There, I can see it now.
Kingdom sheet. Oh,
yeah.
I'll
move it over. There, kingdom sheet. It's all these concentric circles. Each space, pardon me, each space is like a slot for a type of terrain. And not just like forest, hills, mountain, right? There's things like silver mines and towers and hermitages, right? Basically, you have one choice for the center, which is your capital city, 2 for the outer ring, 3 for the next one, then 4, and then I think it's 4 for the 5th ring. 5th ring only matters in campaign play, but for each piece of terrain you choose to go in your slots in your kingdom sheet, that gives you access to different types of units. So Jeremy has a dwarf capital city. I have an elf capital city. There is kind of a list of elf terrain or dwarf terrain or goblin terrain or orc terrain, right? And if you stay with your own race, you can choose kind of more advanced pieces of terrain, which gives you access to, I guess, kind of better or more specialized troops. But for like the first block over here, I could actually choose dwarf city.
Oh, right.
So like there aren't factions in kind of the traditional sense because you could completely mix and match the terrain in your kingdom and end up with a force that uses all 5 or 6 even of the races, right? Like I think in the sorry to cut you off, the undead expansion, I haven't looked at them super close. There are rules for mixing living and undead troops, right? Like they do work together. You can do them, but there's kind of a mechanical, not detriment, right? Because like the mindless undead, they don't care if your other troops kind of get like massacred, and by the same thing, like your living troops are like don't care what happens to the undead troops. So there's some interactions there, but yeah, based on if you wanted to, you could choose terrain that allowed you to field every race in the Oathmark setting.
Right. Yeah, so the uniqueness doesn't come from the actual faction, but the kind of blending of the different kingdoms and units.
Your central capital city does kind of not necessarily set the tone, but like it gives you access to units, mostly character things that other players don't get if their capital isn't that one, right? Like even if I did choose dwarf city, Jeremy would have access to kind of different or better troops since the dwarf city is his capital city I would, with my capital city as an elf city. So
so that's
it's interesting, and that was, I think we talked before, like that was what set Oathmark apart from other kind of fantasy war games that I was reading at the time or just looking at the time, because like it's kind of almost kind of a shame you don't get to it until like the middle of the book, because I was kind of going through going like okay, this looks solid, right? Okay, interesting. Oh, D10s, all right. There's nothing, none of it was bad, just none of it stood out,
right?
And then you were like, oh, have you started building your kingdom yet? I'm like starting to read it now. I'm like, okay, this is the interesting part, right? This is where it's different enough from other games to make me go, yes, this is cool.
And I think, and even the designer said, it's, traditional fantasy, ranked players may feel it's a little blasphemous to be able to mix these sort of factions, but I think that's what makes it unique. I think that's what makes it interesting. And so your kingdoms are going to be much more diverse and strange. It's going to be cooperation, cooperation between between various groups.
Only because of the only because of kind of the kind of classic dark elf northern kind of theme that I imagined for the elves. Like I was looking at all the other unit types and I'm like, I don't know if I want you guys on my side, right? So I think my army, despite the awesome kingdom building, my army might just be like
very
elf units all the way down.
Hardcore elf.
Hardcore elf, right? Yep. We have yet to see. I might not.
Yeah, and I think the idea is to kind of, these battles are kind of tests to see how we want to play and how different units and armies play. So we're going to build bigger and bigger armies towards different styles or towards different mechanics.
Hence calling it an escalation league.
Yes.
Which is much better than a grow up league. The first one I came up with.
We're going to grow up. We can have the we can use the Gerber baby as the
jeez.
as the icon.
Here. No, I've seen parenting time. No, I've seen good Gerber. I think I've seen Gerber here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think because it's one of those international,
probably
global,
owned by
brands.
God only knows what, like Blackhawk or something, probably. But now I was thinking, like, okay, the way the Gerber baby is, that might be, the Bisco kid. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like when you said Gerber baby, the first thing that kind of popped into my head for Japanese was like the little Bisco kid, right? Who, according to my kid, is very creepy.
Oh, really?
He's got this little smile, and it's like, according to her, it's just like a little too big, and his eyes are just like a little too wide, and we've entered the uncanny valley kind of thing, like, "Wah." Or it's like those.
This little dude.
Yeah, that little dude. Yeah.
Nice.
Like she enjoys the little crackers and little. They're kind of like they're like little thumb-sized, kind of cream biscuity sandwich things, right? Like she enjoys eating them. Whenever we pulled on the box, she's like, "Okay, now put the box away, Dad."
Wow.
Put the box away, right? No, okay, I want the cookie. Put the box away.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, a little Bisco.
Let's see if I can.
Oh, Jeremy is
But the Bisco kid.
The Bisco kid.
Oh wait, no, we're not getting it.
Bisco kid.
Oh, it might be a. Boy, they sure do love those WebM.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that, whatever format, needs to be taken out back. Yeah, then they're like, okay, right click, download. I want to share this picture. Oh, web. Nope. No, I did not want that.
Yeah, weird. Well, let's see what I get. I think I'm just gonna get a little tiny version. I guess it's fine. If
it's
to
fine,
share,
as long as I can see the little kid.
To share him, yeah. Oh, there we go.
The Bisco kid.
Bisco kid. Okay, now we got to do a Western
No, we don't.
Game
Do we?
With the Bisco kid.
Do we?
Oh, man. Well, at least he's Japanese looking, yeah. As opposed to super, super European, like a lot of the other brand stuff here.
That's kind of.
There's the Bisco. Oh, you've been replaced by the Bisco kid.
Oh my God, the Bisco kid. Yeah.
There he is.
Yep, the Bisco kid. Yep.
So this creepy face is.
He's just a little bit. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen over there. No, don't leave it there. See, look, I get it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
He's just a little too happy.
Right.
About all those biscuits, and now we're probably going to get sued by the
Glico
company, right?
Right. Here, I'll just put it on the shelf up here.
Oh,
there we
go.
There.
Oh no.
Bisco is among us.
It's not Elf on the Shelf. It's Bisco Kid on the
right.
What? I can't think of something that rhymes. Right? Oh, that's terrible. Right.
There he goes. Yeah, so funny brand mascots. But the one thing they didn't do, which is nice, is we don't have any Uncle Ben or Aunt Jemima or anything that was associated with
you know
brands.
what?
Uh-oh.
I highly doubt that's because Japan is sensitive to any kind of racial
it's not.
kind of overtone. No, it's just like it just didn't make it over.
Yeah,
over
maybe
here.
that entertainment. Yeah, that
come on,
weird tradition that came from didn't make it over.
Well, no, but can you imagine whoever owns Uncle Ben's trying to sell rice over here?
That's right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, it's dry.
Exactly. Like, and I get it, right? It's a different kind of rice, but you try and sell it over here, you'd be like, no.
Right.
No, right?
But they did have, even Sanrio had a little bit of that Sambo tradition, like the cute, big-lipped kind of the. Have you seen those? Like from the 70s and 80s in Japan.
Yep,
yeah.
I've seen those, and I mean, I was just about to say, okay, I don't really watch anime anymore, but like,
oh yeah, anime
and any of
yeah.
just like go back and look at any of the like kind of. I bet you all of them have like the sausage lipped characters. I mean, think of like. Okay, Dragon Ball Z is the one that's popped in my head. Where it's just like completely black with like the red kind of like sausage lips, and you're just like.
Yeah. There was even a little trend. I think it was like late 70s, early 80s, where there was it was like looked like a little kid with that kind of Sambo face, and it clipped to your arm, and you walked around with it like hanging off of you, like it was like clinging to a tree branch or something.
Right.
Very strange, and that was actually there's actually a trend here. You can probably find film and photos of people walking around with this trendy little character that's stuck to them. Yeah, so Sanrio had to kind of just expunge that from their.
I'm kind of surprised they were that with it.
Yeah.
Or I'm surprised.
Well, they probably. I think once they probably went global, you couldn't. They started putting those in stores and like, wait, who is this character?
I'm sorry, what?
What's going on here?
Yeah. Almost like.
Hey, Agent Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Japanese cookie talk.
Also Japanese racism.
Yeah,
talk,
yeah, Japanese racism talk. It's really funny. And they recently, it was just a few years ago that for that New Year's celebration, so the comedy troupe downtown, they dress as characters for that marathon thing they do at New Year's where you don't laugh, where it's that where
right.
And one year somebody dressed as Eddie Murphy, like one of the guys dressed as he was wearing the Detroit jacket and jeans and was in blackface.
Yeah, yep.
You remember?
Like, no, I don't remember that, but like Japan, Japan does not get that blackface is not acceptable.
Right.
Like they kind of still don't get it.
Yeah,
or even whiteface.
Yeah. There's and that one comedian too that does Obama. He just like tans. He doesn't actually do blackface. He just like must like spend a lot of time at the tanning salon.
Even then, you're just like, okay, if you're gonna do a character, right? Like you got to be good enough that people are gonna get. I understand wanting to look like the person to heighten the joke, right? But you just kind of you can't do that, right? Okay, right. I forget the guy's name because I don't really care. One of the SMAP guys, the blonde guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the weird like JAL airline commercial where it was a couple, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it was of course for international flights, and at the end he turns and he had like he's wearing like a blonde wig and has the prosthetic, like a slightly larger prosthetic nose to be a foreigner.
Oh right.
And you're just like,
yeah, they have
like that disappeared real quick, right?
They have those like party sections, so they have costumes for going to parties, and they have the gaijin nose, the foreigner nose. And it looks suspiciously anti-Semitic the way that because they always make it kind of a strange shape. Oh man. Oh wow. Abyss is saying the Dutch have blackface for holidays. Yeah, so there must be like a holiday character.
It's like Black Pete or something, I think, right?
Yeah.
And yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I get that it's kind of a tradition. It just ain't acceptable anymore, right?
I guess it depends on what the origin of it is. If that character is like subhuman, or if it was a historical reference to like slave trade or something.
Okay, I'm probably going to get it wrong, so like don't quote me on this. I remember, okay, because at work we have to do like events every month, and sometimes people, presidents, whatever, always pitch Christmas around the world, and I'm like, buddy, Christmas around the world is the same, right? Like, and of course we can't really. Sometimes they get shot down, right? Thankfully, but one time I remember looking at like characters, and I think maybe that like Black Pete character, the color of, maybe I'm getting it wrong, but I remember thinking like reading something like the color of the skin was like visual representation of like, I think like sin for this repented character, right? Where it didn't actually have anything, and again maybe I'm wrong, but I think it didn't actually have anything to do with an ethnicity, right? But once you take that tradition and you put it out into like a wider world, like it's the same, you end up with kind of like the same thing as that commercial in China about laundry detergent that got lambasted, where they like literally took a black guy, put him into the washing machine, and then like a Chinese person or a white person, like, okay, you can't do that, right? Because even if it doesn't come from an ethnicity, or even if you're not saying like the fact you're like, okay, this person is black because they're evil and blah blah blah, and you're just like, whoa, what the does that say, right? Sorry, doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, that's true. And that is a funny thing about Asia. And Asia still has, I mean, each Asian country has a range of skin color based on how much Pacific Islander or whatever.
And lighter's always fucking better. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, but it's funny that there isn't any sensitivity to that when they see it, when they're thinking about it in a global scale. They don't understand that. If you have those weird. What I'm trying to say, the weird judgment, I can't think about skin color in your own culture. Of course, if you talk about that globally, it's gonna be very upsetting to a lot of people.
It doesn't work.
Yeah,
right. It's kind of like We're no longer at the point, and like that's even. Why am I thinking about this now? Okay, the Cuphead show, or the okay, I haven't played the video game, right? I probably wouldn't, only because I'm not a video game person. The Cuphead show is actually pretty decent, and I enjoy the old kind of
that silent
Max
cartoon
Fleischer
yeah,
era
right.
kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
rubber hose thing, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't read that many articles, but there was when the game got kind of popular, there were articles on how that rubber hose style animation was almost directly based on like minstrel era entertainment, and how that was based on like black performers, right? Where then the white performers would then like paint their face and like basically ape, the style, because
like a movement, like a jazz, like jazz music,
and let's be honest, at least in the States, right? Like, okay, I'll say it right now. White people don't have a culture, right? Right? White people don't have a culture, right? But they are totally fine with consuming black culture as long as the black people don't come with it.
Oh,
right?
interesting.
Like how often, if you look back even through just like the 80s or 70s, right? Like how often has something that started in like African American communities eventually been like adopted and co-opted? Hell, in language now, it's happening now. How many white people are saying woke, right? And all this stuff. And like it doesn't mean anything anymore, right? And there's like really good discussions about how like rest in power, not for you, right? Like you kind of don't get a right to use that, right? But
interesting. Yeah, that's I didn't think about that with the kind of the origins, because some of the early like silent cartoon and early sound cartoons like Bosco, that was a little blackface character, and they played that on like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network for a long time. Yeah, interesting. And even like Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And it's just because I think the limit of doing characters in only black ink, like they filled in the characters so they're more substantial, so everything wasn't an outline. But still, it does have that. It does have those cultural references that you can't separate it from.
No, you can't. Like you can't. And like, I guess back to the work brain. Years ago, we were talking about how didn't Disney like take down cartoons that were kind of like now deemed culturally insensitive? Where I'm not going to praise them on other stuff. Where Warner Brothers kind of did the opposite tactic, right? They put the disclaimer at the front saying these are products of their time. They weren't right now. They weren't right then. They're definitely right now. Not right now, but to pretend they didn't exist kind of does more damage, right? Just kind of sweeping under the rug, saying no, we didn't do that. It's like, no, okay, so we're presenting them whole, intact, understanding that, they, not that they shouldn't have been made, but they have cultural insensitivities in the context. And I think I prefer that, right?
Yeah, because Disney's trying, like Song of the South, they're trying to completely bury that. They changed the ride, they reference that movie.
Okay, I've never been to Disney World, so I kind of fucking say it, right? But
they totally are burying that.
Well, I mean, I don't think it shouldn't be buried, but you definitely shouldn't have a Song of the South ride now, right?
Right. Well, that's true. I think Chris was talking about like white American it's adopted European tradition. So I think that's what the Asian Carolina was saying. There's a lot of cultural differences and unique customs. And I think the problem with America is the how quickly it moved into commercializing it. So selling Christmas trees and so it quickly takes culture and tries to make it a commodity, and so that's where it loses its connection to.
A while back, touching on that, a while back I saw a really good thread kind of explaining why there is a like Black History Month, and it's okay to say like black culture, but it's not okay to say white history month or like white history culture. Well, first of all, because history is all fucking white, right? But for America specifically, right? you take like African American person and like a white person, right? A white person could probably trace their roots all the way back to whatever little village in some European town they came from, right? Where like African Americans, myself included, you go back to a certain point, it fucking stops, right? Because they basically got sold, right? So,
and your name became Jackson.
Yes, your name became Jackson or whatever, right?
Right.
Hell, half my family's name is Bush, probably because like that's the family that bought them,
right.
So that's why when I say like white culture, there is no white culture. There's English, German, Polish, whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
But that's why, like black culture, like people don't know what country they originally came from, so they can't say Kenyan or whatever. It has to be black culture because we have this shared experience, and that's the culture we're sharing. What is the shared white culture?
Right.
Apart from a pointed white hood and anti-Semitism. Like, seriously, right? Like, that's why you say white culture, and I'm kind of like, yeah, right? You side-eyed it.
Yeah,
but you say, Polish, German, English, whatever, then I'm like, okay, gotcha, right?
Yeah. And it's more clear with food. Like, people don't say white cuisine, white food. Yeah. It's specifically, it's country of origin.
Yeah.
But you do say black foods, black Southern cooking.
Again, because where did it come from?
Yeah, right. Interesting. Right. So, what do you think about the kind of pastiche, the thing that like the latest the Wakanda movie, the Black Panther 2, when they tried to make an African. Okay, but I'll be able to explain it. I think when they tried to make an African culture and they just kind of pastiche, they just kind of put together dress and jewelry and dance and music, and they just kind of make this weird this is African, as it's as if it's a monoculture. So like what the culture that they make for Wakanda is it is almost like this. Of course it's a fantasy country, like a high tech fantasy country, but they have these references, and it was a black director and black art director, like very heavily. The production team is very African American. But what do you think about that? Trying to create this. I guess it's not that much different than Lord of the Rings or whatever, creating a fantasy Europe.
Okay, my comic book knowledge is basically nothing, right? But for the movies, I'm going to say the directors and creative teams and all the people involved probably did the best with what they were given, right? Because
they're referencing
they were existing characters, existing places, and they had to thread the needle of, okay, well, we can't make it completely original because then it's not. It's not right. We'd have all these angry Marvel fans and going, "That's not Wakanda."
Right.
So yeah, I kind of feel like I don't really have a place to say it, but like my thought here is representation on the screen is important, and that movie was important because of how mainstream it was and how just unabashedly black it was, right? On the other hand, it sucks it had to be an imaginary country.
Right.
But you weren't going to be able to escape that, right? Because, okay, at the time Black Panther was made, it was probably just a bunch of white guys sitting around going, how can we capitalize on this, right? Let's And we don't want to actually, okay, at the time it probably was not, we don't want to offend anybody. It's like, we don't want to pay anybody, or we're not going to set this in a real country, so let's make an imaginary one, right? So
and I think it was I don't know the history of the character, but I think it was basically like a civil rights character, inspired by, so they were capitalizing off of that and the name itself. Interesting.
I enjoyed the first one.
And the first one actually dealt with ideas that I think affected that were more relevant to African American. I think that the sequel was more just comic book fantasy, but I really like the idea of the way that they had Wakanda with this amazing technology that could have saved the entire continent, and they just made an invisible barrier and said fuck all y'all, go ahead and starve and deal with war and blight, and we'll just have our perfect community. And then they contrasted that against inner city, the Wakanda citizens that left and went to America and then dealt with
I thought that was a really good, that was a really compelling storyline, right? Okay, I'm freaking the character, right? The movie starts with a traitor, and T'Challa's dad has to go and confront him, and the whole reason like Killmonger's dad became the traitor is like, we have all these technology and you left everybody else with nothing, right? And that's not right. And what did you expect me to do? So like right from the beginning, they kind of, was this the right thing to do? I don't know if they were saying it's right or wrong, but they were at least, I think, doing a decent job of exploring the repercussions or consequences of that action. And look what it created, and should we have done it? Anyway.
Yeah, and they didn't really do too much of that in the second movie. They kind of talked about they felt like it was a mistake to open the country because everyone then started to try to steal their shit.
Yeah.
Like everybody immediately like was attacking them.
Come on,
but
man. In some sense, Killmonger wasn't wrong.
Yeah, right. No, I thought that was, and that's the rare kind of interesting, like fully developed like villain that Marvel has done. Usually they're really simple and
two-dimensional.
Yeah, very waste.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, haha, I'm bad. Why?
Right.
Because
you need me
because,
to be
right?
bad. Right.
Yeah. Like back when my kid was younger and Black Panther came on TV here, like watching it with my partner, and I forget exactly what she said, but it basically ended up being to the like, I'm enjoying this, right? And Chadwick Boseman is pretty handsome, but it does not have the same impact on me that it does on you.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I admit it, like during parts of Black Panther, I was crying, right? Where I'm just like, even the beginning, right? Where you kind of fly over what kind of, I'm like, this is the first time on like a screen this big, with an audience this big, you've seen a movie that's this black, right? And it's like, and like, I can't fault her for it, but she's like, I don't have this experience, right? This is not, I can enjoy it, I can watch it, it does not have the same impact on me that it does on you.
Right. Yeah. And there wouldn't be an equivalent, or that's interesting.
I guess on the same vein, when we were watching Kubo and the Two Strings, which this is by the same people who did Caroline, like I was getting kind of offended at what seemed like a mashup of Japanese and Chinese and Korean stuff, right? Where it's kind of like,
Asian.
Right? Like, oh yeah, that's what it was, right? It's like the people doing like, okay, it's Asian, right? And she had a kind of, like, my partner had a pretty different response where it's just, I'm just happy to see Asian stuff on TV in a wider audience in this fairly popular movie. So, yeah. Don't really have a point there other than just like different people are going to have different perspectives. Different things are going to affect people different ways based on a lot of different factors. I guess is the best way to sum that up.
No, that's true. And I think that's the thing that people have trouble understanding about America, why race is such a big topic, is because there's so much clash of race and culture and people being kind of, kept out of things, or not being not being represented, or not being connected. Not being able to be connected with their
Speaking of
roots.
like representation, I mean, okay, I've said this before. Sorry, I'm trying to talk about something fairly serious. We're also trying to find out where I stuck the rest of my little bow arms. Anyway, okay. I've said before that I think white Americans should live in Japan for about like I wish everyone could live here for like a year and a half, right? And watch like Japanese media. Like we're the token comedy, right?
Oh yeah.
We're white people are like the token comedy people, or like the angry boss people, or like spend a year here, watch kind of the parts we get, watch how you're portrayed in media, and go, oh, I kind of get it now, right?
Oh yeah. Right.
I would hope that happens, right?
No, that's a good point. But it's a little bit more extreme. Like there's a weird, like there's not, what is the there's a better term for, and I think I've heard a better term used for like how Asia sees foreigners. I guess I think we talked about that before. They're not racist. They're just xenophobic. It's just like you are just an other thing.
You're outside. Or even just like walking around, right? Like I guess that's not them. Anyway, sorry. I'm trying to find my bow draw arms.
Oh,
They
yeah,
got to
yeah.
be on one of these sprues. Oh, there they are, because I haven't cut them off. Anyway, like, okay, my Japanese is absolute crap, but I'm able to navigate, like, basic situations, right? And, like, one of my goals this year was to try and get better at Japanese. But that can be a serious demotivator where you, like, walk into a store and they immediately go, whoa, no English, right? Or, like, shopping for shoes and they immediately go, we're not going to have your size, right?
Right. Just forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it. And it's not, like, the thing is, it's not, by itself, it's not offensive, right? And the people who do it probably think they're doing it in your best interest, right?
Yeah,
you
they're
walk in a
saving
restaurant,
you.
here's the English menu, right?
Right.
Or, sorry, we're not going to have shoes in your size. Or, sorry, we can't do that, right? But you don't know what, like, you talk about, like, microaggressions. You don't know how many times that's happened to me today, right? Right? Or, like, you don't know, like...
this is the last straw, yeah.
Yeah, or you don't know, like, the kind of, like, quasi-dirty looks I've gotten on the train, or, like, the people moving to the other seat, right? Like, so that's why I kind of wish everyone could experience, like, a year or, like, a year and a half of that and go, oh, I get it.
Right. You had to be able to shift from being the kind of dominant culture, to an outsider. Yeah, that's
and
true.
it's not, like I said, it's not all negative, right? Then you get the people who are like only your friend because you're not Japanese, right? Like there's a lot of the stuff where like this is happening only because of the way you look, right? And that's kind of what I want people to experience, getting treated this way simply because of how you look. Exactly what you said, to go from like the dominant culture where people on TV look like you're allowed to kind of walk around without just people bombarding you with not even harassment, just do you need help? Just like understand what it's like to not be the main character, right?
Yeah,
that maybe came out wrong, but yeah, anyway.
No, I understand.
Have we completely lost all our viewers?
Everyone's clicked off.
Everyone's clicked off, yeah. Chris goes on a rant.
They're talking tacos.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, tacos would be great.
Agent Carolina asked, what did I buy you guys for dinner last time?
Ooh.
So we had ramen, right?
Yeah, ramen and gyoza.
That it was ramen. So very Japanese. So thank you again, Agent Carolina, for the super chat last time.
Thanks,
the donation last time. Yeah, that was dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Only because the ramen shop downstairs is gone, right?
Yeah.
Which
that's
is a
really
shame.
sad. It was nice. They actually remodeled it so it was bright with open windows and stuff. Because it used to be just like a garage with a metal shutter, and it was super dark inside.
Well, that means you know it's good food, right?
Yeah, right. That's
the crappier the place, the better the food, right?
Yeah, so they remodeled it with really big bright windows and TVs and everything, and now they're gone too. So yeah. It's hard to keep much going.
Yeah. Plus,
that's right. Yeah. Wait until if you get further into Marvel Snap, you'll change your opinion about Killmonger. When you see that card, it usually fucks up your day pretty good. Yeah.
Well, when it's on your side or when it's on the other side of the table.
Both. It's pretty overwhelming because it has an effect. It has this like effect to every one cost card. It just kills everything. That's
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So some of the early decks where you were spawning like squirrels and tiny like one cost cards that you could then buff up, it would just wipe the board. So if you have all that built up, Killmonger.
I haven't gotten into any. I've only played 3 games of Marvel Snap now, and I haven't gotten into any deck building. Again, probably because I discovered because I was playing Warhammer Combat Cards first. When I went to the main screen interface of Snap, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Right? Like this is confusing and weird and different, and I instantly don't like it. Right? Like
delete. Yeah.
I haven't taken it off. I feel pretty old now. It also took me a while to find it on my phone. Right? I'm like going scrolling like Google Maps, man. What the fuck? Marvel Snap. It's a fucking S. Snap, right? I was expecting it to be called
Snap.
Marvel
Right.
and it's just like, no, Snap. But I think I figured out why they call it Snap, because when you flip the card over to reveal it, right? That's probably your Snap.
The Snap is the escalating. You're kind of bidding on the match.
Right.
So you click the little cube, the little blue cube thing, so you're basically saying I have some confidence I'm going to win. I'll snap, and if they snap, so it's you're wagering like between 1 and 8 cubes.
See, I didn't even fucking know you could do that. I just
So 8 is the max, and so the snap is, I think I got this, and then the other side thing, I think I got this. So then the match cost, or the winner takes 8. Yeah, so you lose 8, they get 8. So it's kind of a bidding on the. So yeah, that's the snap part of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha. See, I hadn't even gotten to the bidding part, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they wouldn't have explained that in the early.
Nope, it didn't.
In the tutorial.
And like, I realize it's kind of sorry. We're assembling miniatures. And my thing is like, I like to clip out everything on one sprue first, rather than have like some of it clipped out here and some of it clipped out on that sprue. I'm trying to find the sprue that I've been working on.
Right.
That I keep
take it
putting
all from
down
the same,
to take it all from the same sprue.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But okay, tutorials in games. They have to, or for me at least, they have to kind of thread that needle of explaining what to do in a logical way,
Right.
and also keeping your attention, right? Because how many times have you seen online people go, I didn't even know there was a tutorial, right? I just kind of started going, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's what kind of killed me for Overwatch as well. Like back when there was all that Overwatch hype, and I actually got the game, and the tutorial was just like open arena kind of, not with other people, but with like AIs, and I'm like,
yeah, that's right.
it's bots, and I'm like, okay, like maybe I missed the actual tutorial, but I'm playing and I'm like, no, I want more information on how everything actually works. And okay, doing it and experiencing it is one way to learn. And like the first actual match I went and played, I'm like, I got fucking host. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is happening, right? So for some people, that's going to be, I don't want to lose. Let me go try again. And other people like me, it's going to be, that was not enjoyable.
Yeah,
I did not
interesting.
enjoy this because
yeah.
I didn't feel like I knew enough to make informed choices. So I think Marvel, unless I poke around with it more and find out, so far for me, Marvel Snap has failed
the tutorial.
that tutorial thing for me, where like, okay, I kind of know how to play, but you haven't given me enough information for me to really feel like I'm making important decisions with enough information to know what I'm doing. But that might change. That might change.
I'm curious. Because just once you get into the, I like the, they've limited it to 3. The numbers are just really perfect. I think they really did a good job of like, it's 3 zones that you're fighting for, and you've only got a deck of 10 cards. So that there's very very big limitations, but then the abilities and how the cards interact can
and
really
that's why it's
affect
interesting,
that.
and that's why I'm trying to build a physical clone of it.
Right.
Like I was saying before, like just real interested in those kind of hard limitations, right? That's why I come up with so many half-formed ideas for mint tin games, right? It's this little mint tin, and what can you physically fit in there, and how interesting can you make it with such a hard set of constraints, right? So that's why when you recommended Marvel Snap, I'm like, it's only 3 zones, highest number of points in the zone gets it. You're trying to get 2 out of the 3, and the cards are all pretty simple, but have these little effects that do stuff.
They even have there's zones that have an effect with the card doesn't have an effect. Any cards without abilities, I think they call it. So any cards without abilities get a special bonus or whatever. Oh, is Matt talking about maybe Overwatch? Yeah. Overwatch is better now. There's practice ranges and custom games to practice in.
See, that would be better. Yeah.
Or were they talking about something else? I'm totally missing it. Yeah. Maybe.
Not going back to Overwatch though. And it's not because
it's Overwatch.
It's Overwatch 2 now.
That's the weird thing that I don't understand why Blizzard did that. That you can't go, I guess, because they want the numbers in on the new servers, but they deleted Overwatch, the original Overwatch. That Overwatch 2 is not a huge change, but you can't play the first one anymore. So someone is going to definitely set up a private server so you can play vanilla Overwatch again.
You can't play the first one.
Yeah, they just replaced it. Like there is no such thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
getting back to TTRPGs, I bet you that's what Hasbro wants to do with 1D&D.
Yes.
But the thing
Yes,
is,
yes.
like, they can't.
Right.
Right? Because it's physical.
And the thing saying that it's backwards compatible just means you're sure you're playing 5e, sure, whatever, but you're in our 1D&D digital environment. You can pretend to play whatever version you want, but you're actually playing 1D&D.
You're playing 5e. Sure. Keep thinking that, kid. Right?
Go ahead, enjoy. Nice. Oh, Matt's saying when Will and I went to Gen Con in 2015, there was a company selling games that fit into chewing gum pack sizes. Spoiler, they weren't that good.
The gum?
Yeah, something.
Chewing pack.
Yeah, chewing gum.
I think I'm kind of showing my age here. I'm imagining like a double mint gum.
Yeah,
thing.
I wonder. Like
that is
like,
tiny.
Like chiclet or like gum. Yeah, or like stick gum. Yeah.
Or maybe like, you know how like you've kind of got like the folding pack.
Oh,
here
yeah,
now.
yeah, right.
It's about the size of like a business card?
Yeah,
a little bit bigger.
Right, with like a flap. Interesting. Yeah, sometimes I mean within those limitations, and especially in Japan, they love the micro games because nobody has a big table to play on. Nobody. Yeah. So
why don't we play Space Hulk anymore?
Yeah.
Because our table literally only accommodated that first mission.
Right.
Assembling. We don't have enough space to lay out the second board. Jesus.
Yeah, and playing on the floor is miserable. I cut you off like a Wrigley's pack. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds tiny. I don't even know what you would fit in a Wrigley's pack, right?
Right?
There aren't cards that come in that dimension, right?
Yeah, that's funny. Interesting.
I played.
Maybe like a regular like that kind of. So it's like what 20 sticks.
Oh,
or whatever.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. That's an interesting.
That still would
choice.
be cool though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, mint tin makes more sense though because you have a sense of that, and it's like a business card fits inside something. That, right? Yeah. So, interesting. Oh,
I was connected there. Yeah, cool. Did we fall off again?
Oh no, I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
Abyss got snagged for some language. You guys seen the new GW upcoming releases?
You know what?
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, they did I think the Las Vegas Open or something, they did a reveal.
I will never buy
GW
models again. Like, I don't have a reason to. I'm buying their contrast paint. So I'm putting money in their pocket,
You're
right?
Still,
But, like, apart from, like, okay, yesterday and this morning, right? Like, half my Twitter feed, after they revamped it, half my Twitter feed was people saying, "We did it!" for the OGL.
Right,
and the other half were people saying, "The new Devastator squads for the Primaris thing absolutely suck. Like, look at the size of these guns." And my thing is, like, was reality ever really important in 40K, right? Like, I'll never play again, probably, right? I don't mind the size of these ridiculous weapons. I mean, like, they're Primaris Marines, and of course they're an ultramarine color, right? With basically like missile launcher guns.
I saw that image.
Missile launch, and I'm just like,
sure.
What? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine, right?
Oh, that's right. And they're releasing I think for Kill Team, the Arbites, the kind of police.
You mean the Judge Dreads?
Yeah, right. Oh, that's right, Judge Dredd. Yeah.
I forget who said it. Like, someone had a really good point, or I felt their comment was warranted, where they said it's enriched for GW to slap other people for copyright or IP infringement when they release the Arbites, when it might as well be Judge and Dredd, right?
Right. Yeah, when it's just like it's Terminator, and there's so many things that like have a direct pop culture
I mean,
influence.
like, okay, that can't be helped because it kind of started as parody.
Yeah, right.
So
yes,
they're
right.
parody, and like, okay, the Necrons now they're kind of distinct enough.
Yeah, that is interesting though, because when they originally kind of started and even some of the names and things of characters,
wasn't one of the orc things Margaret Thatcher? Yeah, like that was a play on Margaret Thatcher.
Right. Yeah, I think the Gazgul, wasn't it? That was
maybe.
But they were So it did start as parody, but now they're taking it seriously. So don't you lose the protection of parody? When you're just like
I don't know. Good question.
Completely knocking something off. It's like we already had this, but now it's been assimilated. The new Demon Dude comes in a box set with tons of Terminators. Oh wow.
Okay, and how much is that box?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't. That's what. Because they released the new Seraphim, the lizard men for Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, and everyone's going crazy for like the feathered Velociraptor kind of riders.
And the sculpts
cool.
look nice, but it's just like I don't even want to see what that price is.
No.
Yeah. It's like
I was the same. Like, looks cool. Yeah, I don't even want to think about how much it's going to cost, right? Or what the sprue to put it together looks like.
Yeah.
Because we've talked before about how, you look at like an Oathmark sprue, and it's like torso, arms, right? Like there's a lot of, they fit together well. And sure, Games Workshop miniatures look amazing, right? They look amazing. I assembled some of those chain rasps before, and like there is one way. They have engineered these things to go together one way.
Right.
Like the mold line is like right? And it's like they're like you think of like the old models, right? And I'm like, I got this half of a horse and I've got like two other horse halves here. Oh, I can kind of mix and match. No, go on, right? Like you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, it's all very very specific.
And I have to imagine, I'm sure some of that is, like you said before, developments in what they're able to do with mold making technology and getting these pieces so dynamic looking.
Right.
It also has to be like an IP lock, right?
Yeah.
Like
right.
They are intentionally doing that so that you cannot convert your stuff.
And I think they probably started doing that too once the recasters really started, because the more simple that the models are, the easier they are to recast. And then when there's really crazy dynamic, and especially when the sprue is so complicated, the quality, like it has to be a really, really perfect recast, which makes it expensive. So then it's not competition anymore.
Yeah. Nope.
That's true. Matt was asking, so how does Army Painter sell ultramarine blue without getting sued? I think
ultramarine
is a color.
That's right. Ultramarine
that's
is
what
actual color, right?
Yeah,
so GW can't copyright that.
Yeah, they're saying it's the color ultramarine. It's not the ultramarines. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like GW can't.
They don't have the omega, that little omega symbol or whatever.
Right?
Right. But that's
GW tried to trademark or copyright Space Marine.
Yeah.
Where it's like, sorry, bro. People were using that in like
from the
60s, right? So like,
and that's so generic too. Yeah, it's like Space Army guy,
Space Ranger.
Right. It's like there's
which is why they went to. I have to imagine that's why it existed, but I have to imagine that's why they went to Adeptus Arbites.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. Yeah, because even Imperial Guard, that's so generic. That,
they're the Astra Militarum now. Trademark.
Right.
Yeah. So, again, as a company, I can't. You have an IP to protect, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't fault them too much for wanting to protect that, right? Especially now in the age of 3D printing and all this stuff, right?
That's basically all they have that they can protect, right?
But what I can do is say, really, guys, come on, right? Did you have to name all of your paints something that is trademarkable?
Right. Yeah, that's
it can't just be white. It's got to be like white scars.
Yeah,
white,
right. Yeah.
Iron Fist yellow. Like, just give me a yellow, please, right?
Yeah.
Me with my colorblind self, like I don't even know what the fuck color Briar Queen's Chill is. I'm just like, is it? And I'm using it, right? I'm just like, I have no idea what color this is. Is it like a pale green, a pale blue? I can't tell.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's chilly. Yeah, that's funny.
It's chilly. Yeah.
Yeah, 1959. Yeah, Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I should go watch that movie.
Yeah, it's funny. So if we could make Latin a living language again, then we could sue Games Workshop for every use of Latin that they're.
You know what? It's probably not even actual Latin.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just that's true.
Astra Militarum.
That's funny. Yeah, very funny. Yeah, and that's an interesting thing that Army Painter did is they made equivalents. Like they made a cheaper paint, but they kind of color matched it to what GW was releasing. So here's the alternative. And if you want to, color your blue Space Marines, this would probably be the color you would use.
Well, sorry, but that's kind of why. Okay, that's kind of why GW has to do that.
Right. Yeah.
But also, no, what my brain is taking over is like, is there a way? No, okay. What I'm thinking, like GW is obviously a company, and like Hasbro and WotC, they have investors. Do you think it's possible for a company to be more IP open source friendly? Or is the at whatever point in capitalism we are now, is that company setting themselves up to be a failure by not being able to protect IP?
I wonder.
Or I don't know.
Well, I think that's what they were afraid of with their fantasy, with the old world fantasy.
Which
so
might
that's
be
why
coming
they
back somehow, right?
Yeah, it is. But I don't know what they're going to do. That was a thing that came up too with the release of the new Seraphim, the old lizard men. It's like, couldn't you use these for both? You know, are these units for both Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar? Because they exist. If they exist in both of those worlds, if they're not an original thing for Age of Sigmar, couldn't you play those? But I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're. It would seem to make sense that you could have, you'd want customers with both games.
Okay, yeah, it would. Okay, what I'm thinking about is, okay, so since we're playing Oathmark, right? And because the Oathmark, Frostgrave, and Stargrave kits all work so well together, right? Okay, Oathmark is a rank and flank style war game where they supply you with square. There you go. Square 25mm bases because you're supposed to rank up the units, right?
Right.
You could probably play with round base models. Right? Like they wouldn't rank up as nicely, right? But like you could still have a row of 5 round 25mm base models, right? Yeah. And I'm sure Osprey Games and Joseph McCullough are not going to go, no, you've lost your license. You can't play that way, right? So, okay, back to my point about that fucking Bosco kid is still there.
Yes,
Bisco.
Bisco.
If GW didn't have shareholders to impress, do you think they would be more open to saying, yes, the new Seraphim models,
work for,
use them, put them on a square base and use them for the new Age of Sigmar,
right?
Put them on a round base and use them for put them on a square base and use them for the new fantasy, put them on a round base and use them for Age of Sigmar. Hell, for what you're paying for a box, and I can fucking imagine what it is, we'll actually give you both bases.
Oh, yeah, right.
Do what you want with them.
I don't know, but they seem to, like, their rules and everything, and even the design of the kits seem to be where you're going to have to buy 2. Or they want you to...
Well, of course they want you to buy 2. Right?
Yeah, they want you to buy as much as possible, so I don't think they would be that friendly. They would probably say, oh, yeah, you should buy the Age of Sigmar version. It's the same plastic in both, and just there's square
poses,
bases.
right?
Yeah, square bases and circle bases.
But
I don't know. I don't think, because that goodwill or that being kinder to the customers, I don't think, results in profit. So,
you don't.
They have much, I think they have much less
I'm not
motivation.
Sure, and I'm not business trained in any sense, right? I'm never going to be in a position to be a fucking shareholder, right? Anyway, but I gotta wonder, right? Like GW is often described as a miniatures company that also makes games, right? So I wonder if it would extend to more trust or goodwill, right? If they said, okay, we've got these 2 rule sets. We're not giving them to you for free, but you might want to play both. So these kits will give you both sets of bases, right?
Right, yeah.
Like you can use them for, because, okay, like bases are one thing you kind of can't magnetize, right? Okay, you could, right? You could. Like someone out there is probably going to like stick magnets on all the little feet and look, oop, now it's Age of Sigmar and round, and oop, now it's square for fantasy, right? Someone's going to do that. It's a lot of work. But I wonder if, and I don't know what the goodwill towards the Games Workshop is, so this is all hypothetical, right? If they said, one kit works for both games, you still got to buy the rules for both games, but we're obviously not trying to fucking gouge you here, right? We're not
right.
forcing you. Oh, you're playing Seraphim in both of them. Well, you gotta buy both boxes, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wonder if that would. The thing that is strange though for them bringing back the old world fantasy is now they're back to the same problem. They have 3 competing fantasy lines now. They have the Lord of the Rings still. They still have that license,
Right.
So there's the Middle Earth strategy battle or whatever they're calling it now. Age of Sigmar, and then the new old world.
Yeah, the new old world of Warhammer. Well,
so yeah, that's what I think they were complaining about is the sales for fantasy were so low right before compared to 40K. Before they switched over to Age of Sigmar, it was kind of, they figured, yeah, we're not actually losing that much because that's been around. That was the original line. It's been around for a while, so people have their armies, and no matter what we do with the new editions, they don't buy new models.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then, pardon me. Then, as a company, yes, it makes sense to say we're discontinuing this. Right?
Yeah,
it's not making us enough money. It's kind of compete. If it's not making us enough money and kind of competing with our other lines, then yes, okay, let's just kind of kill it, right? And in the most spectacular way possible, right?
Yeah.
Boom. But I don't know, like those. I don't know if GW has abandoned the idea of feeder games, right? Because when Kill Team first came out, the theory was that Kill Team would kind of be a feeder for 40K, right? Here's this smaller, more stripped down version to kind of give you, it's its own game, it's its complete thing, right? But it kind of gets you into the world, gets you into the game, right? This price point, and I don't know if they're still doing that, right? Because
I wonder. Yeah.
Age of Sigmar, I don't think it's a feeder game anymore, right? It's probably big enough, and your army is going to be big enough where you're not going to go to fantasy.
Oh,
right? Because it's its own distinguished line, right? But that whole thought was like, I wonder if 40K, sorry, fantasy. We're talking fantasy. Lord of the Rings and old new Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar, if they played differently enough.
I think they do. Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the impression I get. You're someone who played the Lord of the Rings, right? And old Warhammer, right? They probably played differently enough where, as long as people have the money, they'll stick with it, and maybe they'll play multiple games, right? And if they're all in the same store, then it's like, you came in to buy Age of Sigmar stuff, and now you're eyeing up Lord of the Rings, right? So
I would be curious, like what they're like in their business strategies and their meetings and stuff. How they think about that, because they did start to introduce all those boxed games, and especially when Kill Team came out, it did seem like they were trying to make the rules like mini 40K rules, so you kind of learned a little bit of 40K, a simplified version that you could then you could start you started with one box to play Kill Team, and then you could start adding to it and start building a 40K army. But I bet they have just kind of like said, we're never going to get more than this much from these people. These are the whales. These are the people that are going to build a $2,000 army for a tournament
for each season, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, okay.
Starting a new army.
Like Matt brought up something. He said Matt really liked the photos of the Stargrave.
Oh yeah.
Core book, because they use all kinds of different minis, different models and stuff like that. And even they do, and I really like how the Stargrave models are painted up in the core book, because it turns, I think that's an example of how like kind of a generic miniature can really be snazzed up by like a paint job, right? Like they've put like checks on the helmet, and like the people are wearing like different clothes and stuff, and if you just look at the kind of like a bunch of gray unpainted things, you're like, these are all the same. Paint them differently, and that's that kind of extra thing they needed. But
that's true.
The other book that does that really well is Xeno's Rampant and Lion Rampant that you gifted me, where at the beginning of the book the guy says, okay, the models are either mine or the credits are right under the photo. And most of the photos in that book are miniatures from whatever collection of whomever, painted by kind of whomever, and it's because I don't think there's like a dedicated miniature line, but the idea is you can use any medieval miniatures, so let's show you that by
Yeah,
using this big
right, so, yeah,
selection.
yeah.
And that was pretty nice.
Oh,
Right?
nice.
But
Yeah.
what you said about 40K,
Mm-hmm.
last weekend I was in the local Eon Mall, and we were going to Toys R Us, and I bought another Lego Mario set because those are actually kind of fun, right?
Right,
But
right.
my kid said, "Oh, I want to look in the bookstore." And like, look in the bookstore, and you know how Japan has those magazines that have a built-in box because
Oh,
you kind of
yeah.
get something. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's
Oh, no.
fucking 40K,
Oh no, really?
right? Yeah, there was
Oh,
there was like
was it
2 big
Imperium?
stacks
Yeah.
of
Yeah, yeah.
these magazine-sized boxes
Yeah.
for $4.99,
Yes,
like
yes,
499 yen. I flipped it open and I said,
Yeah.
I'm considering getting this.
Yeah.
Right? Because
yeah, Miguel
it's
was
like,
talking about those. Yeah.
You got
This
like
came out.
8 or 10 D6s,
Mm-hmm.
a sprue that let you assemble, of course, a fucking Ultramarine and a Necron in pretty dynamic, interesting poses. You didn't get any paint or brushes, but you got what looked like a bunch of like a kind of a clear plastic ruler and some tokens where it's like,
Right.
of course, I can't read fucking Japanese, right? But I'm like, my first thought was $4.99 for 2 miniatures.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
the cheapest you are ever going to get Games
Right.
Workshop miniatures.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's true. That's true.
But then it's also like that looks like a potentially great introductory product where
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
the full game, but we gave you dice counters, like a measuring stick, 2 little miniatures for you to try painting, and I'm guessing what's like a stripped down set of rules to actually kind of have
Right.
these 2 little dudes fight, and then all the lore. I hate that word. And don't you want to learn more? Right? Attention, citizen. Right?
Yeah,
Anyway.
those are like those. In Japan, they have those D'Agostino.
Yeah,
things
that's
too.
exactly what
where
it
you,
is,
like,
yeah.
build a model car or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So
And by the time you collected
It's
all
like
the books,
$5,000
yeah,
car.
yeah.
But so first the UK got those, maybe EU and UK, and they wouldn't ship them outside. And then America got. So I think that set's called Imperium because they're basing it on the
Dark
Dominion,
Imperium kind?
Dominion. Yeah, I think
whatever.
the Dominion box. I think.
Okay.
I think it
does
it's
say
going to be
Imperium, yeah,
it's going to be Necron and Space Marines. But they start out. Yeah, the first one's cheap, and then if you get that collector thing, then I think it goes from $5 and then the rest are like 15 or 20 or maybe even 25. Yeah, so they ramp up pretty fast, but they include a lot of stuff. But it is it's just basically taking the Dominion box and breaking it up into smaller portions, and then but also kind of drip feeding you like the rules and painting guides and stuff. Yeah, because they did that in, I think the first version that they did was the 8th edition starter box. So it was Nurgle and Space Marines.
Yeah,
But
there's ever a faction I'm not
broke that
interested
up.
in. It's
But
fucking Nurgle.
they got to the point though where they had terrain and stuff. Like I think the later ones had like big terrain pieces and stuff. Yeah, but you get that weird issue where it's just like one figure or like one miniature or something. Like there's like a couple times where if you're trying to collect that whole series, that they kind of screw you on the value.
Oh right, but like I only thought about because we're talking about like starter products and like that.
Yeah. No, that is
for some. You got to get people from somewhere. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think that somebody that would be in a bookstore would have never walked into a Warhammer store or whatever. Yeah, they would see that for the very first. Just like when Games Workshop games were in toy stores, were in like Toys R Us or Children's Palace or whatever. Yeah, for the early games. I mean, like the like Space Hulk and stuff, like the original versions of those. Were actually distributed, and even like Hero Quest and stuff.
Right.
Were distributed in actual toy stores. That's disappearing, and that is their way to attract people that have there's discovery. They can discover something that way.
Right. No, I think a new flagship Warhammer 40K store opened in Tokyo, in Akihabara. Of course, because I've seen people on Instagram like doing photo shoots and posting stuff, and like I kind of have. I don't know if mixed feelings is the correct word, but I think I probably won't go because Tokyo's not that close.
Right.
Shinkansens are not that cheap, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
no,
true.
like even though we live in a country the size of California, I won't go again. Anyway, like the photos I saw, it's like a big like Warhammer world, right? Where they have all these kind of like dioramas under glass. And they actually have like a built-in like cafe.
Oh yeah,
and stuff, and I'm just looking at it going.
I think LA got one of those too, like a Warhammer cafe. Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of weird. It almost kind of, not that it seems like a maid girl cafe, but it like Like,
oh, that'd be great.
right? Like,
Sisters of Battle. Yeah.
I
Married
don't know, but like,
waitresses.
I think like it might as well be kind of like a
or
maid
Sisters
cafe.
of Silence. That would be the worst. The worst waitresses.
Would it? Would it be the word?
I don't know.
Anyway, but like, I was thinking like that. Like that's still kind of. It's the same thing as like a maid cafe. It's just catering to a different kind of nerd.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you're going to buy this like overpriced coffee and Danish thing, and you're just like, whoa, that's the Imperial Eagle on it, right?
Right. Yeah. Japan loves that though. Those
do.
themed
And
cafes.
so
yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah.
I was starting to say something kind of negative about it, but GW, like we talked before about how like food is adapted to local palates, like that. That seems to be the thing here. So if you want to get customers here, adapt to the local palate, right? So who knows? They might have done a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll never go, but
oh, Matt's asking what the yen rate is. I think it's 130 still. It's still pretty high.
that's fucking ridiculous. For a
So
while.
yeah, it's good. So yeah, coming to Japan is really good because you get a lot of yen for your dollars.
Yeah, you
still.
do. Being here, not that great.
Yeah, right. Yeah, getting paid in yen kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, okay, it kind of does. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, Matt's talking about the Reiklander warband that was nice that he played. Very nice. Yeah, I've got a bunch of old Mordheim metal.
Oof.
We gotta do something with that one of these days.
We could. I'm trying to think. We don't have any. Oh no. Well, we have Frostgrave and
Oh, that's I never
Forbidden
thought of,
Psalm.
Oh, Forbidden Psalm would be good too for some of the there's some
Because before you had the idea of playing the latest version of
the
one page
rules with 40K,
right?
yeah.
With 40K miniatures.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Nick was I was talking about that with Nick. That would be a fun.
Still want to do that.
Yeah.
And then play. The suggestion was like play the same armies with a different.
That
or
would
as
be-
close to the
yeah,
same armies with a different set of rules.
That'd be fun.
Oops. But like you could kind of do the same thing with what am I saying? Necromunda. Or Mordheim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like play actually what's the current well, okay, there is no current Mordheim rules, right? Is there, right?
Yeah, they did there was a weird similarity with that with the one Age of Sigmar game, but I think that's hex based. I don't think it's so it's not really, but the storyline or the setting of the game is similar.
I kind of want to play Warhammer Quest again.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've got the new one, the Cursed City one.
How is it?
It's awesome. I mean, it's just like did you play in the Blackstone session?
No.
Okay. So yeah, it's similar rules to that, except it's all fantasy based stuff. But cards and all your different silly dice and stuff. It's the miniatures are amazing, and it's fun. It's basically vampire hunters and undead. But yeah, we should play that. That would be fun to.
I'd do that.
To get out.
Can't be any worse than Hero Quest.
Right.
Okay, like you know what? I honestly want to play. I want to play Hero Quest again, because I was pretty unimpressed. Okay, now that kind of like the nostalgia thing is gone, I think we were playing wrong.
Oh yeah, we were
and not that we were like
we were drinking.
Well,
it was
kvetching a lot. Yeah,
yeah, it was a lot of.
Not that we were like messing up the rules, but in that there's a specific kind of way for the heroes to do things, right?
Yeah.
We kind of just like scattered.
Yeah, because
and
it's
nobody
like
was
dungeon
being
crawl.
tanked,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, it was. Basically, we didn't play it as a dungeon crawl, more of a
Yeah, we all just kind of like, and then like got like swamped by monsters, right?
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, you go that way, you go that way. We're opening all these doors, right? And all these monsters are wandering out. Why?
Right,
Why?
right.
Oh, well, because you opened all these doors, right? So if we did, I actually kind of want to try it again and play correctly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the problem too. Is those nostalgic games that they didn't update the rule set or anything, and so we've had so much experience with other types of board games. Tile crawling. Board games, and they are much more dynamic and much less. Okay, everybody crowd up. Okay, we're opening the door now. Everybody ready? We're opening the door. Kind of like old D&D style, because that's what it was kind of meant to replace or kind of simulate. So yeah, there's been so much change to that where your characters are much more powerful. They level up really fast, and you have this much more capable. And original Hero Quest is not like that at all, especially like single use spells. And everything.
Well, I think we played the spells wrong. Like, I think it's supposed to be like not just those spells, because John was playing Bard. I think it's like okay, you have these decks. I think it's like
that's right.
The elf player chooses one element deck, the wizard chooses the other element deck, and then I think it ends up where like the wizard should have 3, the elf should have 1 whole deck of the cards, right? Not just the one. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. But what you said about them being kind of older games and that being the kind of not danger, but trying to play games not wrong, but with a different set of rules or with different intentions than what the creator had, kind of gets back to like the ubiquitousness. Anyway, the ubiquity of D&D, and how it's like I had this Twitter thread earlier.
Wow. That's very cool. You actually got arrows in your hands. I've just got fists. I was thinking about trying to do bowstrings, but I don't think I'm going to go that crazy.
I don't think I'm going to do bowstrings. Yeah. But like if you have to engage with a game.
That looks cool.
On its own, not merits, but on its own mechanics, right?
Yeah.
Like people who are going, okay, right? Like if you try and play like a Powered by the Apocalypse game or like a Fate game or like a Cypher game, if you try and play them with the D&D mentality, it's kind of not going to work. Right. And it's not going to work. Like it'll work, but you're just going, why am I doing this when I could do it? Well, no. It's because you didn't engage with the game kind of with its own little rule set, right? And like that Hero Quest experience, the whole point I'm trying to make is sometimes it takes like 2 or 3 attempts, right, to kind of unlearn, right?
Right.
After the first time.
Get in the mindset.
Yeah, get in the mindset, right? The first time it's like, whoa, okay, we did that kind of wrong, right?
Yeah.
So, I kind of understand what we did wrong. Right, let's try that again. But I guess therein is kind of the problem with, or not problem, but a consideration with games or whatnot, and like I'm kind of experienced with Marvel Snap, right? If your first experience is just like this blows, right?
Then
why?
Why? Why put time into it? Yeah, that's true.
And it's kind of interesting with TTRPGs because the reason your experience could suck is a person, right? Not the game itself. It could be a person, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
Right? That GM fucking sucked, right? Or even worse, they were creepy. Right?
Right. Oh, hey, Matt is crashing. So thank you, Matt, for hanging in there. Yeah, it's right. It's 5 o'clock.
Like,
it's getting late. So thanks so much. Sorry about the
hopefully we're back up.
Kind of jagged live stream. We've been up and down. The whole time. So and hopefully it wasn't too stuttery after this. It says the bitrate should be better, but who knows? Yeah, take care, Matt, and talk to you soon. Yeah, we're doing Monday night Forbidden Lands.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Oh, good. Yeah. It's I really love Forbidden Lands and the Year Zero system, that rolling a bunch of D6s. That plus a push mechanic is really satisfying.
What's the push mechanic in? It's kind of like. Ooh.
Yeah, you so if you fail, if you don't have any successes, so 6 is a success.
Yep.
You can reroll anything that's not a success or a 1.
Okay.
And after the push, then you have to take damage for every 1 that's rolled, but it's separated into things that are based on your attribute, which is what you'll take damage on, a skill which you won't take any damage, but also your gear. You get a gear bonus, and so you actually you can ruin your sword rolling 1s with the dice that your sword gives you. If you keep pushing it, if you keep pushing it and keep getting 1s with those dice, you can actually like break your sword or ruin ruined gear, and it works really well. I'm really enjoying that because the frustrating thing about kind of traditional D20 is without advantage or disadvantage, you just get one shot and you're like, no, and use rounds of combat. You're just like, no.
Well, but Jeremy, in my homebrew, right?
Yeah, right? So it's and especially low level, like starting out, it's really. So I really like that. And Dragonbane, the English version of Dragons and Demons that's coming out, has the push mechanic. It has a little bit of, it has the advantage disadvantage of 5e. It's got a lot of stuff that's going to make a really fun engine for fantasy roleplay. Yeah, it's got a really nice combination of like everything that basically has been done before. You know, some kind of basic role play kind of sensibilities. It's really interesting. So I can't wait to the full release of that to come out. We played the quick start for Dragonbane, and it works really well. So you're using all the different size dice, but it still has a push mechanic. It still has advantage, disadvantage. So you get kind of a greatest hits of like what people have innovated.
So kind of OSR, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
didn't
true.
mean
That's true. Yeah.
I meant in the sense that like a lot of the I get the sense like a lot of the OSR rule sets exist because they're like a greatest hits, right? Like here's what really worked for our
what
group.
we really liked, and the streamlining things that slowed stuff down, like slowed combat and things down.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really fun. But the hex crawling and stuff in Forbidden Lands, it's so fun how punishing it can be. Like sometimes it goes really well and like, okay, now we're at an adventure site and now things happen, and sometimes you're almost dying, you're like struggling, you're like, we've got no food and this is going badly, and now we're being attacked, and now we're weak and we're sleepy and we've got all these disadvantages.
Weak and sleepy.
So you've got all this like you can be sleepless and cold, and all of that affects attributes and has a mechanical effect, so you can really screw yourself up. So by the time you get to where you're going, you're useless. Yeah. So I like the I like that feeling.
I have to imagine that's how D&D was intended to play.
Yeah, right. Well, early on it did have, there were, I think, separate rules in like the original OD&D, but they had like survival mechanics. Like there were actually survival rules written for D20.
Right, but like with people talking about, okay, we can't escape D&D, right? With all the stuff about like number of encounters per day and all that stuff like that, and in like especially in like 4th edition when it was like, okay, well you're supposed to be, encounters are supposed to be draining resources from the players but I get the sense that's kind of not how it actually worked, right? But it sounds like the Forbidden Lands kind of like hex crawling thing, like, okay, no, if you skipped over the hex crawling and just went, and now we're at the adventure site, and now we're at the adventure site, and now we're at the adventure site,
right,
you wouldn't get the same
same and
feeling, right?
And it wouldn't fill in the details and kind of flesh out the land, like how treacherous the actual world is. Because a lot of the kind of random encounters and things that happen during hex crawling, really make you really realize, this place sucks and everybody's barely surviving, and it's got. So
let me go stab that guy instead of working together with him.
Right. Yeah, they do a nice job of you'll be presented with a situation, and it's like, okay, so you're gonna save this person that looks like they've been taken prisoner, or are you gonna just leave it alone? And so engaging in different stuff, like, it kind of reveals things about the
save
land.
that person.
No, why do that?
Well, important question: do they look rich?
Right? Is there some financial benefit?
Oh, they're just another mud-caked peasant. Never mind.
Yeah. It's really.
They can fend for themselves. How you liking your tusks there?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do. This almost looks a little Sailor Moon.
It does not look that Sailor Moon.
With the big blue.
Well, okay, the blue here. Put it up on the turntable.
Yeah, I was thinking of the. This keeps reminding me of the. I think the wizard from Time Bandits.
I was thinking.
Those. horns around a bearded figure always, kind of look like that.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Or do I want to like put tusks actually in their beards or something? I don't know. Like coming from their face, like their jaw. That might be interesting. I don't know. Instead of like something that looks like just a helmet.
Right.
Because all of them have pretty decent beards. There's no like unbearded dwarves in this set.
Well, you could stick.
Yeah, that might be kind of cool. It's just have them on the side. I might have to drill like little guide holes so everything like lines up well.
Or let's just kind of like glue them behind the beard.
Yeah,
and then maybe like it would be like green stuff on top.
Yeah, that would be good. Good. We actually got some likes on this busted ass live stream.
Yeah. Busted ass live stream.
I guess. Nice. Well, that was great. Matt hung in there with us.
Cool.
So what exactly?
Figuring out what happened with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's. So we streamed for 37 minutes, and then for 20 seconds, and for 10 seconds, and for 56 seconds.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Restream.
Yeah, lovely. Nice job.
Nice job, Restream.
Oh yeah, it looks like they are having some trouble because they're saying real-time analytics are not currently available.
Right.
So yeah, I think Restream, and that sucks. I was happy that because originally when I was first started using it, the nearest server was Korea. So like that's not ideal. Korea has amazing internet, but we're pretty far away from Korea. But yeah, they set up a Tokyo streamer server, so that's why I stuck with Restream. But I don't know. I've had a lot of
dropped stuff recently.
Yeah, a lot of trouble, a lot of like weird technical problems that are just because of Restream. Everything else is good. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with tusks, and I think maybe it's something I'll just evolve. You know, I'll think about later. I was also thinking of doing like a bloodstone or something. I want to have some kind of corruption, magic that that like that's what began this whole thing. Is like they delved too deeply,
greedily and too deeply,
and they brought, but that is like the part of their the method for like magically enslaving like the other kingdoms, the other
you're just outright baddies, huh?
Yeah, they're actually just getting bad, and then it is a corrupting force, and that they realize, hey, not only does this make our own soldiers do what we want, it'll make other people's soldiers do what we want. So that might be kind of fun because they have all those little for like acrylic nails and stuff. They have all those little gems and stuff, so I can I can put gems on all the magic users, and they should look pretty cool. And also they make that paint for Eldar. Games Workshop makes that soul stone paint. It's really cool. Yeah, it's like like a translucent. Yeah, it's like a translucent. You can just like dot it on it, and it's like a little translucent. Like in the spot where the soul stones would be. It looks good. So I might use some of that.
Gone are the days of pouring through the White Dwarf for those heavy metal articles about how to paint gems.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. That's the shortcut. But they're they stand out really heavily, really strong from your painted stuff because they're just like kind of clear acrylic. Nice. Oh, good. Abyss is saying, it's all smooth.
Ah, cool.
On his end. That's nice. Yeah. It took a while. We hit some kind of bump. I don't know what that was.
That was not me. As my kid is fond of saying now, I did not do that.
Wow. Yeah, some of the I think it was basically by positioning. Some of the down bow arms are a little strange. They're kind of across the body. I guess they're all okay.
Kind of like.
Yeah.
That one guy's doing like straight ninja, like.
Yeah. I think I ran out of. I like this arm. That's pretty cool. The drawing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't think the elves. It looks like the elves have. And I don't. Okay, these are the elf infantry set.
Right.
I don't know what's in the elf light infantry set.
Right.
I mean, I've looked at the sprues, right? But elf light infantry is obviously cloth armor. So that's going to be like your rangers, pathfinders, kind of lightly armored, where elf infantry is chainmail. Right? Maybe there are maybe there are arrow drawing arms in the elf light infantry box, but in the elf infantry box it looks like we have what, like 3. Yeah, you got like 2 drawing arrow, 2 loosed arrow, and 1, I can't tell if it's supposed to be up for like a champion or like or kind of like down, because it's not gonna, he'd be holding it like this. Like, what are you gonna do with that arrow, right? So yeah, I got one of those right here. I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna do with it. Right?
I'm just gonna throw this at him.
Yeah, but it's not even down. It's either like raised up. As like haha, or it's like pointed down at the ground, or just you go that way, right? So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but we don't have any arrow drawing arms, and those look pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, and I gotta take another look at my list, because I wanted to. I've got like 20 points I think left over that I still have something to. 10 or 20 points I can work with, so maybe there's a magic.
I think there's a magic item. Yeah.
Something to.
And I think that's
somebody.
Why, like, I don't. There are no, unless I missed it, there don't appear to be any.
Oh, these are all very expensive.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh,
yeah,
50
points. 100
Okay.
points. Yeah. So I can take them, but I can't afford them. I guess I could just drop troops so I can have a ring of shielding. Oh, you can actually make somebody a spellcaster. That's cool. There's a ring of spellcasting. Yeah, with a special spellcasting ring.
Oh no.
Yeah, they have.
No. If a figure with the special ability spellcasting wears this ring, it begins the game knowing one extra
more.
spell. Right?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I saw that.
So no, it's 2 instead of 1.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Next one. It seems like no. What I was going to say is, while there's a recommended point size for beginning games at 550 points, there are no recommended or even suggested beginner armies in the Oathmark. And I'm not saying that's a positive or a negative. I'm just saying, right, that's part of the reason we're doing the little escalation. Not little, but that's part of the reason we're doing the escalation league, is so that we can play like a game or two with smaller sized armies to figure out, okay, what we're going to want more of, or that didn't work, or I needed, or I feel I could have done better if I had this unit type or whatever. So yeah, but there also don't appear to be any small points cost like filler things. Right. Yeah, maybe because the creator didn't want the game to turn into like old Hammer, right? Where like some versions of Warhammer Fantasy were all about the characters, right? And how much war gear and how many magic items you dumped onto the character.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So you're not gearing up some named character.
Because like if you're going to go that route, just make the game like Frostgrave or whatever. Like the game is about this one main character that you're going to tool up and kind of make all fancy, and there's other little minions who I love how in the book they say, well, you can name them if you want. Don't get too attached.
You could, right. They may not be around.
Yeah. Did we ever, when we were playing Frostgrave? Oh, so people certainly like died, but apart from when you like lost someone, kind of expensive, and and didn't have the funds to replace them. Did you ever like say it was a different person? Because like when I played, I kind of had like my little team, right? And even I don't think anyone like died that often, but even if they did die, if I had the funds to replace them, like it's like, nope, it's that guy. It's the same person, right? I gave them a name and I said, nope, it's the same person.
Right.
It's only when like I didn't have enough funds to replace like the man-at-arms did I say, oh, now this is a new person. How about you?
Yeah, I think I only lost the thugs. Yeah, so I wasn't very attached. I don't.
Yeah, they're free. Yeah.
Yeah. So they could be automatically replaced. So what I'm trying to think. I used the same model, so I think I basically did that. Yeah, it's like, oh no, he was just very disabled, but it's the same guy because I didn't. I liked the kind of the warband that I built, so I didn't completely rebuild the missing members.
Yeah, and if there was anyone who was disabled, well, why is he disabled? Bone dart. What happened to that guy? Bone dart.
Yes.
God damn it. That was the. I talked a lot about it. That was a goddamn scourge of the first Frost.
Oh, that was the first thing that they nerfed too.
It was, thank God.
Second edition.
I saw that in second edition. I'm like, Bone Dart has been nerfed. Yeah. It probably wasn't even honestly that bad. It just became such a. It feels like one of those things where it became probably bigger than it had to be.
I got lucky to get it off with high damage a few times. So it just became a scourge.
One shot Bone Dart.
And then of course I put all my points into it.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you,
so
Ren?
It went off automatically almost.
Yeah, that was still pretty funny.
Let's see if I can save the state of this. I like this army planner, but if you don't print it right away, there's no way to save it.
Which side do I want to put these quivers?
So we're doing 550. Okay.
That's the recommended, yeah.
Okay. That sounds good.
Oh, they put them down on the. Okay, that makes sense. Put them down on the waist. Okay, cool. I'll do the same thing.
It's even worse inside Acrobat. Oh well. Yeah, let me see if I can save this out. That would be good. My units are so cheap.
My units are so expensive.
But they're super loyal, right? They get really high. Yeah.
That activation score of 3 is like both. They're really reliable in doing what I want them to do, or supposedly really reliable in doing what I want them to do and staying on the battlefield. So we'll see if that actually is the case.
Right.
With my luck. Yeah. That one game, that abysmal luck I had playing War Master kind of soured me on the whole undead thing, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, oh, what was it? Like, I couldn't get one game I could not get a single command roll off. And on paper, I was like, oh, they're mindless. Undead are all mindless. So, like, there's no... They won't charge into battle, right? Unless I want them to do. They'll just stand there and... Because there are those, like, kind of moves of opportunity, right? Where sometimes you gotta... If the army or if the unit is within a certain distance of an enemy, like, you don't have to make a command check. You can just kind of say, nope, they're charging, right? And you do those first. And on paper, I liked that. In reality, I hate it when I'm like, nope, missed.
Right.
My army just stands here.
Yes.
Come and smash some bones, right? Like, nope. Yeah. I feel like that happened like 2 turns in a row where I'm just like,
I think, yeah.
Nah, I got nothing. So, and I think, okay, getting back to Oathmark, I like unreliable activation more than just, I'll do all my units and they'll all do exactly what I want them to do, right? Okay, those are fun, but I prefer the unreliable ones. And it looks like Oathmark has avoided the I just sit here and do nothing problem by saying, okay, even if your units fail the check, they get to make something like a limited action, right? Like, they don't have access to all the actions they could potentially do. They're still going to do something.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, that takes the sting out of just, well, they'll just sit here and wait to get stuck with spears, I guess.
Another turn of getting beat on. Yeah, that's true.
So what are you assembling now?
I think I'm going to fill out my soldiers and do another rank of soldiers. So, 25 left. Yeah, 25 is not enough to do much of anything.
25. Like,
actually,
my basic dude is 25 points. Where'd the... No, okay. That was exaggerating. Archer's 24 points. Oh yeah. Did you have the book over there?
Yes.
Let me see that book.
Actually, a physical book this
Yeah.
time instead of just only PDFs on the screen.
I mean, like, I like having both.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
The PDF is for mobile stuff, and then the book. And it's a nice book too. It's not. I thought this was. It's not as big as Frostgrave or Stargrave. I mean, physical dimensions, right? It's a little.
Maybe, yeah.
Right. It doesn't feel like a letter-sized or A4-sized thing. But I kind of like how it's not small, but I like how it is smaller, right? Kind of compact.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also the person who has said numerous times how, like, page size doesn't really impress me, right? Congratulations, your game is 300 pages.
Right. Yeah, page
Could
count,
you not have cut it down?
Right. Yeah, right. A
Did
lot
you-
of ambulances.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of old people in Japan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's depressing if that's like every one of those is a heart attack. That's really depressing.
I think the area that I kind of live in is mostly, or it seems like there's a large number of, if not retirement homes, then like daycare
Oh, right.
kind of thing. So we're constantly hearing ambulances. Let's see. Yeah, Archer 24 points. Elf Warrior. Jeez, Elf Linebreakers 30 points.
Yeah, with these tiny, because you need like ranks. You need multiple ranks to make it a decent unit.
Okay. Basic level 1's Elf Spellcaster is 60 points. So, that's like 3 Spearmen, because a Spearman's 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spearman's 22. So I think, just because I like kind of roundish numbers, I think that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be like 10 Spearmen for 220 points. Like 10 Archers for 240 points. I still have 30 points left.
Ooh.
Because 240 plus 60 is 300. And then plus 220, that's 520. So I still have 30 points, which is like one dude. I can put somewhere 30 points. And definitely not going to get a captain or a champion. Let's see.
Do captains roll champion dice? Do they roll the special die, or they're not?
Captain.
Does it say? Yeah.
I thought there was a rule that said
Yeah. When
if they were character. Oh, I think they have the special champion rule. I think champion is when you. Sorry, I could find it right here. I got the book right. Champion and because champion and command is a little different, right? So let's see. Here you go. Characters. Okay, unique individuals in your army, generals, spellcasters, champions, or even the king himself. They play 3 roles in your army. A commander helps with command, control, and morale. A champion is a legendary fighter, and a spellcaster uses magic to aid the army. A few characters fulfill multiple roles. It's rarely a wise decision to have characters operate as units of 1. They most often take over the role and position of the unit's officer, right?
Right.
So, like, for example, a full unit of human soldiers commanded by a general consists of 1 general and 19 human soldiers. If the character starts the game as part of a unit, it has to remain in that unit for the game's duration, and a character that starts the game as a unit of 1 must remain a unit of 1 for the game's duration. Right?
So yeah, there's
You
no.
can't mix. You either are or are not part of a unit. If you're part of a unit, a character gains any special abilities from other figures in the unit. For example, if a human king is part of a unit of human rangers, the king gains the special ability Nimble. Right? So you don't have to worry about one unit not having this, or one model not having this special rule.
Right.
But it says, note that the reverse is not true. You know, the other figures don't gain the character's special abilities.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, so you got commanders, which they have a command score. Whenever you make an activation roll or morale test, you can roll 1 extra die. Oh, yeah, okay. So, basically, units within 6 inches of a commander get advantage.
Oh, okay.
Right? You roll an extra die and choose whichever 2 are most advantageous for you. Yep,
Nice.
thus a unit that normally rolls 2 dice on an activation morale test may roll 3 dice instead. Never roll more than 3. The other important part about commanders, if you successfully activate the unit containing the commander, you may immediately attempt to activate another unit within 6 inches.
Oh.
If the commander has command 2, you can attempt to activate 2 additional units, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Normally it's activate a unit, activate a unit, activate a unit, activate a unit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like commanders kind of break that. I'm activating my commander unit, command 1. I'm going to also try and activate this other unit over here, right? Because the commander commands the units better, right?
That's good.
That's why commanders are important. Then champions. Oh, important to note. Champions can only join a unit if they're the same race. Right? So like a dwarf champion will only fight with dwarf units. Elf champion will only fight with elf units. Again, it also takes the place of the officer. And if you have a champion, you always replace 1 combat die with the champion die.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If the champion die equals or beats the target number, it does 1 extra hit. Right? So champions, you can do a lot of damage.
Nice.
Additionally, if the champion die is a 10, you got to make a choice. You can either apply all hits to the enemy unit as usual, or you can apply all hits generated by the champion die directly to the opposing unit's officer. Right? And then there's morale penalties for the unit if you actually lose the officer.
Nice.
And then last is spellcasters. Yeah, they have the Spellcaster X ability. Generally more effective when operating as units of 1. And you get to select a number of spells equal to your spellcaster's ability, either from their racial lists or the common list. Whenever you activate a spellcaster, you can use an action to attempt to cast a spell. And then you roll dice equal to the spellcaster level. If any of the results of the dice are equal to the greater than the spellcaster's number, you succeed. Right? Cool. So the higher the level of a spellcaster, the more spells you can choose, and the more dice you get to roll to see if you successfully fire off the spell. Nice. Only 1 spell per activation, and you can never attempt to cast a spell if you are within 2 inches of an enemy unit.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So opponents take heed. Go shut down that annoying spellcaster by some pathfinding units getting up real close to him. All right, so with that all out of the way, let's go back to the elf section because, so like elf king or queen, command 2, champion, and so they're both commander and champion.
Okay.
Whereas I think you probably have the same thing. Gotta imagine like the dwarf king is like the same, right? So yeah, dwarf king, command 2, champion. Yep. Nice. Yeah. And your dwarf king is 322 points.
So I'm just gonna do him and then like 2 other.
I wonder how that would work.
Yeah.
Where elf king or queen is 356.
You'd always be able to activate, but you wouldn't do very much.
Yeah. 329 for the general.
Yeah, I saw that.
Even a champion for me is 74 points. Yeah, so I'm just not getting a champion in there. Not at this small game, right?
Right.
Cheapest spellcaster, level 1, is for me is 60 points. Which I said is like.
Oh wow! Yeah, mine's 30.
Jesus! Cripes!
These elves, they better perform.
Yeah, they better. Seeing as how I ordered like 3 more boxes of them. That would just be the ultimate, wouldn't it? Be like, man, elves, I can't use them. Elves suck.
Yeah, right.
Not that they suck, they just don't fit my playstyle. Well, what am I going to do with all these boxes? Yeah. Ooh, sorry. No, I think I'll. Yeah. Oh, my math. Let's see.
Keep my eye on the chat. Hey, Minion, how's it going, Rob?
Oh, nice.
Good evening. Yeah, we're just putting together some some dwarves and some elves.
Yep.
Yeah, Rob's running. We just played the first little bit, maybe only an hour into Ravenloft. So
Ooh.
yeah, we're playing first edition. Yeah, and I've never played that module before, so it's fun to see what it's all about. I haven't read it or anything, so it's.
So
really,
you're doing the first edition old module that's full of all kinds of slurs and
yeah, it's got gypsies and filthy dwarves or whatever, thieving dwarves. Yeah, so it. Yeah, that's very very fun.
What system are you using? Oh, part of
Just original.
Oh wow, okay.
D&D first edition, yeah. Oh, actually, but I think actually we haven't done it yet, but we're basically Osric though. We're using the.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna end up with that book for checking everything, but it's our first edition characters.
I was going to have to stop being friends with you.
Nice. Yeah, so just a mellow miniature building live stream. I should switch to some magnifying. Or actually, I could,
there you go.
Yeah, I can pull this out. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to scratch anything off. Any noses or.
That would just be one characterful looking dwarf,
yeah,
though.
Right.
No nose.
There we go. Yeah. Nice. Rob says, I'm not selling it. Nice.
I guess I'll leave them. Yeah, okay. It's just going to be the 10 archers and 10 spearmen and then the wizard. Yeah. You're a wizard. Alright. We never did put out a poll asking whether or not it was sacrilege to play with unpainted miniatures.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, we gotta get. We can do that. We can do that during the weekly too. There's a lot of the same people are in on Friday.
It's kind of like too cold to prime anything outside.
Yeah,
and too cold and
true.
wet.
That's true.
I've been pretty lucky with the priming I did before, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of okay. Weather talk. I'm in favor of just shifting time back a month, right? Because we're like getting into almost February now, and it's cold as, right? Like this is supposed to be like January, December weather, right? Let's just move everything back. It's now officially like what's today? The 28th? No, it's December 28th, right? We should all just the entire world agree it's December 28th, right? And then the seasons will kind of align much better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Poor Jeremy, as if daylight saving time didn't screw people up enough.
Yeah, right.
I really.
What am I gonna do here?
Yeah. Poop.
Oh.
Oh, I see it.
Got it.
Got it.
Nice.
That's a lot of axes.
Yes, I got a lot of warhammers and axes in my on my sprues.
What was that one? Oh, the dwarf champion head.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the champion head. Oh, that gives me. Wait, that didn't update.
Yeah, Minion. I'm looking forward to playing some war games too.
Oh yes.
Ah,
Nice.
if I could stop dropping everything. There we go.
Yeah, this total is not updating. Let's try it again. What? All right.
I was wondering. It would take some work. Oh yeah, it would take a lot of work. But one thing that I noticed that I don't seem to have on these kits is... Oh, I might have it on a Frostgrave kit. Is a bow that's not being held.
Oh yeah, there's one. I don't have a curve. My bow's not curved, but yeah, I've got one on the dwarf.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I have
that's
one,
nice. Yeah, elves don't have one. I guess we don't give anybody our bows. We're just like, nope. Hold them.
Way.
Right? Don't drop this thing. Don't lose it. So I'm kind of wondering if I want the captain of the archers to be an archer man, or like holding up a sword with a bow behind him. Not sure.
Yeah, Abyss is saying, time for playing games gets less and less the older you get, and the more people it requires, the harder it is to organize. Yeah, that's definitely been the role play situation too. It just
Also the
kids.
Well, even before kids, or not before kids, but in addition to kids, it was like the pandemic just kind of ended stuff, right? And like as accessible, jeez, pardon me, talk about the fucking pandemic. As accessible as virtual tabletops and just even Discord things have been, like, I always complain about how they're not accessible to everybody just because of like physical setups.
Right.
Like way back in the day, we played Pathfinder on. It wasn't even like a virtual tabletop. It was just kind of like online through Skype or something, right? And if it was during the day, I kind of felt weird because I'm sitting at even though I had blocked out the time, right? And even though my partner kind of like knew and was cool with essentially like a game day, but at home, not being in the same physical space as someone else who's like washing the dishes and tidying up. I'm just like, you were cool with me doing this. And like, it was nothing on her, because she's like, no, it's fine. Like, I still felt weird and guilty. Like, I am home.
Right. But you're not.
I'm not helping, right? I'm not.
Yeah.
And then just having kids just exacerbated that even more.
Right.
And then if it was like, if you had like a separate room, like a garage that was heated or something, or you could kind of go and not be present, but be in a different space, I think that would help. Right? Don't have that. Don't have that, right? So, yeah. As accessible as it is, online role-playing or any kind of game is still not accessible to everybody.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And so I'm kind of looking forward to I'm looking forward to being moved. I'm not looking forward to the move. Yuck.
Yeah.
Moving. Does anybody like moving? No.
Yeah, definitely one of those huge stresses. It's nice when like your new job pays and people just come, and you can even like have people pack your stuff for you. The ultimate version, but that's only when your new job is paying for it.
I think we're probably getting like a moving company, but we're have to like box stuff up and
right. Yeah, just use their boxes so it fits perfectly in their truck, and you're all set.
Not looking forward to that.
Right. And then getting it all out of boxes in a timely manner.
again, having a kid exacerbates everything, right? Because I wouldn't mind doing it if it was like just us, but also having to do it while managing like a 6-year-old.
Right, and being able her to go to school or whatever or activities and stuff. Yeah, you can't get everything.
Well, we already kind of decided that we're just gonna take like a day or two off where she still goes to daycare. It's like, off you go to daycare, but we're not going to work because we're spending the day packing everything up, right, or getting everything ready and in boxes. But it's just the extra kind of hassle of now three people and one of them a kid. You know, the logistics of what are they going to need immediately and putting that in a box that's going to be easy to get out, or what's going to be the last thing we pack up, right, and that kind of stuff. And now you need this thing, right? Yeah,
that's true.
Not looking forward to it. So if anyone wants to pardon me, if anyone wants to come pack for me,
right.
I won't be paying you. Also, right, friends don't help each other move. No.
What no. I did a lot of that in university though.
Oh yeah.
But that's what nobody had that much stuff. Everybody's stuff fit in a car basically, in the back, the back seat in the trunk of a car, and you were all done.
Yeah, strap the mattress to the top of the car, and then off you go. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, vinyl, records are quite heavy.
Oh yeah.
You get enough of a collection.
Yeah, and I always had way too many books too.
Yeah. Should have Marie Kondo'd that shit. Just gone. I think all of it still sparks joy, so.
That's right. I love the her Netflix show. So she's like the little 150 Japanese woman and hugging all these giant morbidly obese Americans. Oh, thank you for fixing my giant house that you've never seen.
Yeah,
anything on this scale before?
I watched a couple of those shows, and it was. We've talked early in the stream. We talked about Japan kind of xenophobia and all their kind of like soft propaganda stuff, and the Netflix Marie Kondo show was kind of weird. Like there was one episode where it felt very, maybe exploitative is the wrong word, but felt very othering. Where this one part where she was kind of doing this ceremony, thanking the things for their usefulness, before you kind of threw them out, and just the way the camera was framing things, and then kind of over the camera or over the shoulder of this white couple kind of observing, and it was supposed. I have to imagine it was supposed to be reverential, right, or respectful. It's not how it came off. It came off as othering, and we're just the way Japanese TV goes. Look at all these weird foreigners and the things they do. That's how it came off. It came off as haha. Look at this little Japanese woman doing this thing in our house, right? So it wasn't meant to be, but I was like,
Yeah, I guess that has to be a weird balance too, because they want her technique or whatever to have some uniqueness and some special quality. That's why we're promoting it or whatever. But yeah, you have to be careful to not make it.
That's what it was. It kind of went over, right? There's a line between appreciation and fetishizing stuff, and they crossed that line. I mean, not egregiously, right? And
but it is Netflix, so they're not that great.
I don't know how many seasons that show lasted.
I don't know.
Less than 2, right? Because that's what Netflix does. Yeah.
At least there were no suicides related to it. What was that, Terrace House or whatever? There was a
geez.
Suicide.
Well, that wasn't directly related to.
Oh yeah, that was from bullying. Yeah, that was actually what happened. IRL, or I guess on social media.
Yeah, which is in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Japan has a real problem with. Well, I mean, everywhere does. But yeah.
Yeah, because I can get 2 champions for the price of a captain, but the captain has command 1. Yeah, I get more than. What's that?
Captain's 150 points.
Yeah.
quite expensive.
And for command, the higher the better, or is it because you're trying to roll
You got to roll over.
over? Okay. So yeah, I guess.
I think it's equal or over. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the dwarf captain is much better command. Plus he has the skill, the ability.
Glue this one. Yeah. So like if you're no, don't really like that. No. So yeah, if your activation, if your command, that's what it's that activation thing, it's equal to or over. So it's Oathmark uses 10-sided dice. So like I think a lot of humans have like an activation of like 5, which is kind of like, yep, that's okay, that's average.
Right.
And it's not even on a single die. It's you roll 2 d10s, and so long as if any of them equal or beat that activation number, you're fine.
Successful. Okay.
It's only when both of them roll under that number that you have to take a limited action. So I'm not good with math and probabilities, but like, okay, like 5 on a single die wouldn't be great, but like you got 2, right? You're always rolling 2 dice, right? And that's why we're talking about like the commander. As long as you're within 6 inches, now you're rolling 3, and you get to choose the 2 you want. So all of them, all 3 dice rolling under whatever or less than your command number, the chances are pretty small.
Yeah.
Especially if you're elves.
Yeah, right.
Command of 3. Each die only has like a 20% chance of rolling under.
Nice.
But with my luck, that's all I need.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna have my movement problem.
How quickly?
Because you're gonna. How many inches are?
Oh, I got the book under here. Elves.
Because I'm 5, so let me. I can
With
just.
like 6.
Yeah. Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
10 versus 12 kind of thing.
I was about to say we're 8, but I just suddenly looked at the human cavalry. Whoops, wrong entry.
Oh, that would be brutal. Yeah, humans are 6. Maybe elves
we're
are
6.
7. Oh, you're 6 too? Okay.
We're 6. I think it's also mainly based on. You might want to look at armor too, because like the heavier the armor, like line breakers and elf warriors, they only have a movement of 5.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Nope. Yeah, because you're like dwarf line breakers have a movement of 4.
Okay, yeah. So the heavier,
heavier armor is slowing them down. Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, looks like a lot of dwarves have an activation score of 4, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I'm gonna need to buff, or what spell is gonna help the most.
That's one way to kind of differentiate the different units, right? Or the different play styles. Because it looks like humans have a fairly high activation score of like 5 and like 6 for militia, but their points is nothing.
Right.
Heck, what are goblins at? Probably even less than that. That's the campaign. Let's see, goblins. Yeah, orcs and goblins their activation score is like up to around like 6.
Oh wow. Yeah, so that's what I figured, and I'm sure that same with it's gonna be similar with undead too. That'll probably be.
I think the undead have kind of like similar to War Master. I think they kind of have special rules where it's like as long as there's got to be a necromancer or a character nearby them to make sure they do the thing they need to do. Otherwise, they just kind of stand there and just like.
Right.
That's why I'm not doing undead. I'm like, I had my fill of that. Thank you very much.
Nice. Yeah, it was really. Yeah, we got some notices for 2 hours ago. We were a little droppy, but no complaints.
Cool. Okay. Where were you 2 hours ago?
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad this finally.
Decided to cooperate.
Yeah, I got back to actually streaming. Alright. Whew. So yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I'm still not sure. I definitely think I should put more into soldiers because I have a feeling, yeah, if you can engage those archers, I'm screwed. So.
That's the plan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, actually, I'm still figuring out what the plan is. It'll all depend on what's on the board. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, should we try, especially because we're only going to have like 2 units
Oh,
each,
yeah.
should we do like the 2x4 board? I think that's kind of, it'd be kind of a narrow thing because we don't have cavalry.
Nope.
So we don't have to worry about, it being so wide. That might be kind of good
Yeah.
to try out. And easy to put together too.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. Yeah. No cavalry yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming. Yep. Your goblin wolf rider cavalry.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I like the standard bearer in the center.
Yeah, you've got a
for
nice
pivoting and stuff. Yeah, that would be good.
I like the standard there.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's nice and tall, especially for dwarves.
Yeah, right. It's extra tall. They stole them from the humans and didn't realize how tall they would be.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
Nice. Yeah,
Very odd numbers on.
strange. What's that?
Oh, just the stream thing.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. It's still saying excellent.
Yeah, well.
But its definition of excellent is a little
A little untrustworthy.
yeah.
Is that one gonna fit? Where's the other? Oh, there it is.
So I might just put a bow on the back of this guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
It's pretty quiet on chat.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Friday night. Everyone's either out or asleep.
Oh yeah, it's really it's after midnight, I think, for
After midnight.
West Coast, so it means
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
after like 2 or 3 for
Oh yeah,
the rest
East Coast.
of
Yeah. Because 3 o'clock. Because I forgot I have my buffer account set to U.S. time or New York U.S. time for East Coast, and 3 p.m. here was like 10 p.m. Was it? No, I forget. Anyway, yeah, but it's still pretty late over there,
Right.
or rather pretty early now.
Yeah. Only viewers would be Australian right now, probably.
We appreciate you.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Yeah, nice. I'm doing too much reading on stream. I'm just like reading rules and stuff, not paying attention. Yeah, still, YouTube's got a lot. That's great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Abyss says, yeah, pretty quiet in the chat, but I guess that's normal. Seeing, it's not Friday. That's true. And North America is asleep. And London and Paris are having breakfast. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I guess mostly sword and shield. Like, I guess axe, yeah.
Axe and shield.
Axe and shield would look good.
Oh, that one needs a head.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay. thought I had one more head out here. Guess not. Yeah, right there it is.
Head hunting on your sprue.
There we go. What was that?
Nice.
Ooh, just knocked that one over.
Yeah, we have to find a good do like an overhead cam and then do some close-up cams. Figure out a good way to divide the board while we're playing so that you can follow both.
Oh yeah, both sides. Because the setup we rigged for that's a bit of a gap for Brawl Arcane 28.
Oh yeah,
It was good.
Yeah.
We were just kind of far away from everything.
Right. Yeah. Let's get some of these. Oh, I got.
And we also didn't have another. We didn't have any like NHL style like flame effects. Or,
Right.
Good thing we weren't using D&D stuff.
Not animation. That's not
Yep,
your
yep.
dinner table can't do that.
No, it can't. Maybe that was the wrong one. Oh well. Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah, these are. That's right. I've already pulled off the hooded archer heads. So.
Well, hopefully, my order will show up soon.
Yeah.
Not that I need the figures, but yeah, it's just a lot easier when everything's just there and ready. I think. Maybe that's supposed to be the paired with the arm for the champion. Okay.
Oh, this must be for the standard. Yeah, I was wondering why there was a left-handed warhammer, but maybe for the standard bearer.
Well,
So
I like it with the shield though.
Yeah, I like the shield too. But yeah, I was like, why is there? I guess you could do two hammers or something.
No, because I think I have something. There's something similar on the elf frame. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I
5
was wondering what that
swords,
was.
and then there's an offhand sword for their standard bearer.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But you don't really, not that you don't need it, but I kind of think it looks. I think it looks better with the. Yeah, what you've got there, the dwarf standard bearer with the shield.
Yeah,
And this long bonking stick. That's actually a banner pole. Don't make me bonk you.
It's 5 and then one more.
Oh yeah, I think.
Yeah,
these,
that is. Yeah, offhand hammer.
I think after seeing how that fits together, the back row of archers don't. Not that they don't work, but the second rank of archers look a lot better with their, or they line up a lot better with their bows kind of down.
Right.
But the one thing about you kind of said you don't have any knocked arrows. Like the elf arms that I have that are knocked arrows pretty much only work across the chest, right?
Yeah,
Because
you
that
can't.
arm kind of prevents them from,
Right.
like, they can't have an arm down and doing like that.
Right.
So I need 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna need 4 more of those arrow-less arms. Yeah. All right, I think I've officially given up on trying to just clip out everything from one sprue. It doesn't work. With all my, or for a while at least, with all my Frostgrave stuff and Stargrave stuff, I had bought a bunch of little plastic Ziploc bags in various sizes from the dollar store, and had very carefully labeled, even for my Perry miniatures from the sludge and turnip stuff, like Napoleonic Prussian, Agincourt,
Nice.
mercenary sprue, and as things slowly got mixed together. I gave that up. I'm just like, sci-fi bits. Where do those come from? I don't know. It's somewhere.
Everything enters the bits box.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
The bits box. Oh, I do need one more body there. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Need one more hand. Where is it? There it is. Yeah. Oh, and I do need 4 more heads. Let's see, here's 1. Right, and
Let's just hope I can avoid making the exact same soldier.
yeah.
There's enough options. I think it's pretty hard to do that, but I might accidentally just put the same guy together.
Oh, if it looks good, it looks good. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I did the same, or I have the same feeling. Like, oh, that reminds me. Everyone's asleep now, but I think I mentioned before, 1, 2, 3, 4, just counting heads, how I wanted to get the Keth heads for Sludge. Because I got the Royalists, I got the Imperials, and they had those really cool kind of Persian-looking heads for the other kind of official Sludge faction. And the Black Site Studios didn't list any Sludge miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the creator, I think like Sean Sutton or Sutter, took the line back, and only recently, because he also does Relic Blade, which sounds interesting, but I can't get into another game.
You're right.
Recently released both resin kits and STLs for the entire Sludge.
Oh,
range.
wow.
So that, and the shipping seems, they seem to be about $10 cheaper, probably because he doesn't have to, pay any money to anyone else.
Right.
Where like the head kits used to be about like $29 for the resin. Now they're only $19.
Oh, wow.
Not sure what shipping is like, since he's like a company, but he's just one person.
Right. Where's he based? Is it?
Somewhere in the States.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, the whole reason I brought that up is because I was thinking about heads, right? But we talked before about how, whoa, where did it go? And it looks like, Sludge is still being supported. I'm part of the Discord, but I don't frequent it that often. I'm just not on Facebook. But there's rumors of, after like a lot of Relic Blade stuff, the recent Kickstarter thing gets shipped out, there's going to be some kind of possibly Sludge collection.
Oh.
Or like a new, not a new-ish version, but a collected version, because currently they only exist in those Blaster magazines, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like Blaster issue 2 and 3. So sometime in the near future-ish, there may be a kind of collected version where if you only want Sludge, you can, buy this one book.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to keep saying Sludge. And that's a real tough term to search for, because
Yeah, right.
you have to type in like Sludge miniatures war game, because otherwise you get all kinds of stuff about like metal and which is appropriate, but like not what I'm looking for, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look very dramatic. This one guy's just chilling with his bow, just completely down, just like
Right.
standing like, yeah.
Yeah, looks like you guys got this handled.
Yeah. No, but the whole point of that was saying, when I was getting my Sludge miniatures together, I think I clipped out like every Perry miniature Franco-Prussian soldier I had, with blue tack, paired them up with arms.
Mm-hmm.
Because sludge comes, you're supposed to do 3 miniatures on a 40 millimeter round base for
Right.
line infantry. And I had that same thing like, I don't want to have two dudes doing the same exact thing on the same base.
Right.
So I parted them all out and I said, soldier A, here's going to be the 3 on this base, here's going to be the 3 on that base, and here's the 3 on that base. And I made sure that there is no duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty hard because there's only 5 different legs. There's only 5 different bodies on those Perry miniature kits. And it was like, okay, make sure that no base is identical to the other. And then I wrote a little slip of paper like line infantry unit A, bagged it all up. Line infantry unit B, bagged it all up. Which is helpful now because when I want to assemble a unit, I can just go dump that out. And I know that all the pieces are kind of there. So,
That's cool.
I probably spent way too much time agonizing over that
Right.
choice, right?
Right,
But
right.
that's just how I operate. It was fun. You know what? It was also fun, lonely fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was one of
Right,
those
right.
times where like I somehow had the house to myself and I could like leave this stuff out for like a couple days and be like, yeah, okay, I'm enjoying doing this by myself.
Nice.
That's just way away from the body, isn't it? Ah, but let's do it. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
This one body is very not just nonchalantly standing there.
Yes. And it's funny. I think some of them are kind of meant like kind of a champion pose. Like
Mm.
you can be like, arms raised, kind of rearing back. But if you put other heads and limbs on, it's just kind of like, it's just,
Yeah.
standing a little steady.
Like looking at it now, there's one body on each sprue that definitely would have made a much better spearman.
Yeah,
It's very kind of like forward, and I should have seen that. And I should have clipped all of those. I made that like the second rank.
Right.
Well, hey, live and learn, and then get loves, right? That's how the commercial went, right?
That's right. Loves.
There we go. But yeah, some of them are definitely meant to be. Oh, that looks okay. Yeah, sideways a little bit. Some of them are definitely meant to be the champion pose, which you kind of have to, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Ah, all the strings for my sprue goo. Yeah. Get on there. There we go. Oop, fell down. Ah! So it falls off again.
Yeah, that would be fun. Your Spurgu would be fun to try to do. Bowstrings, try to
Oh my
touch
goodness.
and make a connection.
It gets hair thin.
Yeah. Have you seen the people? It was mostly like for Nurgle and like Chaos models for 40K, but they use something like that and mix in some like red paint, and then just like so there's like viscera and goo just like dripping and clinging from.
On
that
like
stuff looks crazy.
it looks. Yeah, I've seen that. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it on corn for all their like blades and stuff.
Right.
Oh, that looks okay. Actually, I think I want it down a bit more. There we go. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, there was
It's not using those arms right now.
one of those Nurgle tanks for 8th edition at the
Speaking of tanks, yep, continue. Yep.
the Japanese Warhammer store. Somebody painted them, and it had these like pussy blisters on it. So it was all metal, it was all like corroded metal, but then it had these like fleshy, weird boils and blisters. It was actually nauseating, like how well they painted it. It looked pretty brutal.
Oof. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, the contrast of the fleshiness, the wet kind of fleshiness,
Oof.
and then the rust and metal and stuff was pretty intense.
Oof. Mm.
What's your tank?
Warhammer people are just crybabies.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, some new tank kit.
Was the Horse Heresy one, maybe?
I'm
Or,
not
yeah.
sure, whatever. I
Yeah.
don't particularly care. Anyway, everyone is all up in arms because the tank model doesn't have a bottom.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
And it's like, does it really need a bottom?
Yeah.
I mean, like, really? Like someone was saying, I'm like, you don't see the bottom of it anyway.
Right.
Half you don't even paint it.
Yeah, right.
So, like, do you really need a bottom on this tank?
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if that was just a cost-cutting thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was, right?
Yeah, it was weird for a while, too. They had a couple of the bigger kits that they made two versions of, like a cheap push-fit one that had limited options, and then the one where you could, like, customize everything that was in the rules or whatever. It had every weapon, and that was getting hard, like, especially the secondary market. It's getting really hard to tell which was which.
Oh, really?
So I think people were marking up the cheap one, and then people were, getting it, and then they just had this, like, weird limited version.
Right.
But that was,
This
that
is
was
not
kind
what
of strange.
This is not what I paid for, kind of thing.
Yeah. It was strange they did that, because it's the exact same model, just produced two
Buy
different
it twice.
ways. Yeah. Yes, if you really want it. All right, there we go. I got this little bald guy with the champion arm. He's looking all feisty.
I might have to convert these guys to Nurgle, but with all these, like, Sprugoo strings coming off, and like, getting stuck to my fingers.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's got to go up, so it's not. There we go. All right. Yeah, I think I've got. If I'm gonna do 2 champions, yeah.
Oh, that's right, because your
Yeah.
champions are so
They're
fucking
cheap.
2 champions? That's 140 points. No, it isn't. It's 60.
Yeah, right. The double champion. Oh, I should do one of these archery arms so that they're like holding the shield out, because they've got the weird bow arms, but that would actually be cool to put a shield on. I think the bold guy's gonna try it.
He's going for it. Yeah, okay. I should have brought another little bag to put some of these things in.
Oh, I might have somewhere Ziploc, do you mean?
Yeah, because I think I ended up using the pointing down or up arrow arm, which means I have an extra clipped out arm. I just kind of like collecting it, so I make sure it's in a little bag and not gonna fall out on the floor. Because the tuck boxes, they're good, but if something gets in the wrong place, they can fall out from the flap, and I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like knowing that I've lost bits. Right?
Yeah. That's frustrating.
Like that arm I just dropped on the floor. God damn it. Oh, there it is. I got it. Yeah.
That sounded like that went for a while, but
it did.
Right there.
Luckily,
Yeah,
it was right
over
there.
there?
Yeah, I heard ting, 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 ting. Like, oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's one upside of these hard floors and hard plastic. You can hear stuff when it drops. Oh. Something just turned. Oh, did it get too hot? That heat lamp over there?
Oh, yes, that's what that is. Yeah. When it overheats.
Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what I could actually do with that. Bow arm. That can be a weird shield arm.
I like that little case.
Yeah, there's been some.
I like how you used blue tack to stick little important bits to it. Yeah.
There's been some good plastic cases and boxes at the 100 yen stores recently.
I am not an organized person by any means, but I like the idea of being organized.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever I go to like the dollar store or the 100 yen store or a stationery store, it's like, ooh, look at all these like notebooks and pen cases and little hinge boxes, and wouldn't they be cool? And I have to stop myself and be like, you're not going to use them.
Right.
You're not going to use them, or it's going to be that not analysis paralysis, but you're going to worry so much
about
what goes in them
right.
and trying to like keep things organized that you're not ever going to use them, right? I only want this to be whatever, but you never got off your butt to, actually put it together or whatnot.
Right.
So why did you get it? Yeah.
Nice.
There we go. Stick. There. All right.
Yeah, why do the shields have to have 3 points of connection on the sprue? That's a lot of little.
Oh yeah, little
rough
bits to clean off. Yeah.
edges, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the bow. If you clip the bow off the
nice.
hand, yeah, then he's got a fist that you can hide. That a shield will hide his.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that makes the position, because the other shield arms are just these little nubs. They're like
Yeah,
this. So
I might
that'll
have
make much
to,
more dynamic.
Well, the arms aren't going to, because I was looking at the elves, and I decided that they're all going to be. They're all pretty much spear up, and I had a picture of it before. I wanted one that, like the front rank with them down, but the way the arms join, they kind of point it out and away like that.
Yeah.
So I tried like rotating them so it's pointed forward, but then all their shield arms are like this. So they're presenting like a there's no like we're behind a shield. It's this perfect target of right,
Hit me,
right
hit
like
me,
that.
hit
Yep,
me.
hit me, come on, right there, right? But I wonder if doing something similar would work. Like if I clipped off the work brain, if I clipped off the arm for the bow and then put a shield on it.
Oh, that's right. There's one bigger shield too.
No, I don't think that'll work though.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of spears now too. Unless I'm gonna do spearmen.
We'll see how it looks on goblins.
Oh, yeah.
Or they're going to be like, we got our one. Actually, if it looked, that could potentially be cool. We've got like our one heavily armored arm.
Yeah.
That's the front side, and then the rest is
that could look good. Yeah, definitely like patchy, chainmail. Like just various pieces of chainmail would be cool.
All right, I don't think that's going to work though.
So
that's glued on.
Make sure I keep the larger shield separate. That's so funny. There's like a champion.
Or give it to some just random person, and
Yes.
it helps with the no two people are the same look.
Yeah,
or
that's
it
true.
helps with the hodgepodge kind of random look.
Yeah, that's true.
We just showed up with whatever we could get.
Yeah, I think I'm just putting it in front. This guy's lunging.
Bring it on.
Nice. Oh yeah, Abyss is talking. Yeah, missing the scrapping of the OGL 1.2.
Oh, is it scrapped though?
It happened. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know, because they may not. That just means 1.0A is not going away.
Yeah.
They're not going to cancel that or whatever term they were using.
Yeah, and like people said, well, wait until we see whatever license rolls out for D&D 1 or 6.0, right?
Yeah.
Because a couple people online were kind of saying, okay, hey, all you celebrating people, please look at the wording, right? This only applies to 5th edition.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the announcement was they said Friday, so yeah, it must have just happened. It happened after the weekly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Abyss is talking about it. Yeah, we didn't bring it up. We were still talking about the VTT kind of the weird. Is it a video game? Is it a VTT?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is disappointing that they didn't just stick it out. I was really expecting them to be like, yeah, just settle down. We'll handle this, but they did. They completely caved.
Completely?
Well, not completely. They caved. You know, they gave some concessions, I guess. Yeah, is about that's probably the best way to put it. We have concessions, but I can't believe how many people are
calling it a win.
Yeah, we total victory. We have won, but that works very well for them because that will bring people back. You know.
Yep. That's my thought.
Yeah, it's definitely not a total cave, but it's including the full SRD in Creative Commons, and then not terminating. I think that's what they were saying, calling it terminating the
1A.
But that doesn't mean that one D&D is going to be good for third party. You know, because they could say, okay, you got that, but if you want to do new version third party content, well, that all of the stuff we were trying to do before, that still applies.
Yeah, or like like someone pointed out, like the SRD says something about, oh yeah, you're allowed to say compatible with 5th edition or works with 5th edition, right? Which is something you could have done anyway, right? Like their whole point was they are granting you, quote, granting you the right to do something you could already do. Aren't we magnanimous?
Yes.
Are you? Not really.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I can't believe when we record the weekly, it seems like, and I think people do that intentionally. They do press releases and statements and things on Fridays, which would be like early Saturday morning
for us.
Yeah, for us. So it doesn't go into any of the weekly, and they let it just like maybe lose some momentum over the weekend, or I don't know what the deal is with that timing. But end of the week, there's always some strange.
I guess I don't know. Okay. First thought that popped into my head is like, okay, it's end of the week or close to the end of the week on Friday, so that businesses will close.
Oh, maybe it's a stock market thing,
right?
It might be for publicly traded companies. It might be a stock market thing.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah.
Right.
So the markets are going to close, and they're only getting 1 day to drop.
Well, that's it. Yeah, like, I wonder if that's the.
Just in case, if it's something they don't know how people are going to react.
Yeah. If you don't know how people are going to react, maybe do it on Friday, so that, like you said, there's a limited amount of time for things to drop.
Yeah.
If you're pretty sure it's going to be a positive, do it Monday, so that market's open again and you have lots of time to.
Yeah, for
rebound.
Yeah.
Who knows? This is all just armchair business stuff. Right. I did not go to any kind of business school. Right? Or
I like these archer's arms with the shields. Nice. Yeah.
Or something about what was this?
There's that head. Oh no.
No. Maybe just a little bit of something. Or give people, what am I trying to say? Give people the weekend to possibly simmer down.
Mm-hmm. Simmer down.
Right, simmer down.
I missed that.
Simmer down.
No, I think that's true. Yeah, because their initial knee jerk and everything that they're going to say,
which sometimes
hopefully it'll get buried in everyone's Twitter stream.
Yeah, which sometimes backfires, right? Because the thing that kind of backfired a little bit was, maybe more than a little bit, but how long WotC was taken to, say anything.
Right.
And people were just.
And I wonder if those were the orders. It's just like, just wait, hold.
Okay, let's not feed into the whole. You have my sword, you have my axe. We slay the dragon, and we D&D is ours again. Let's not go down that route. Because just nonsense.
Yeah, but I wonder if they were just like, okay, come on, how much worse can this get? Oh shit, it's getting so much worse. Why are we trending? We're trending.
That's good, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, once open D&D was trending, like, oh shit.
I don't even think they said, "Oh shit," right? They're probably just like, "Meh."
Yeah, right.
Whatever, right? It wasn't until like, or I don't think I have to imagine it wasn't until like Forbes and all the other companies started saying like, or possibly it wasn't until like the D&D Beyond site supposedly crashed from all the people trying to unsubscribe.
Right.
It wasn't until their wallet got hit that they went, "Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
All right."
Yeah, that's true. And I really think they were just going to do that thing where they're just
going to wait.
D&D Beyond was going to just roll over into one D&D, and that look at these numbers. Like we just took everyone's membership and turned it into the other membership, so instantly we have 1 million subscribers.
Yeah. I mean, they're still going to do that, right?
Yeah.
They're still going to do that. Because again, what I have to think that the designer.
Oh, I like the raised.
Yeah. Well, come get some. Bro. I have to think that the part of Twitter or the part of social media that I pay most attention to, like the design part, is not an accurate representation of the play part. Right.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's a good point. Yeah, that's very true. But I think maybe that's what they were worried about, though, because it was getting so much mainstream coverage that it would bleed over, and these players would be like, "Wait, is there something wrong with that game we play?"
Yeah.
I haven't ever bought a book, but
Well, why would you need to? The DM buys it all.
Yeah, right.
Come on, we all know D&D players are under-monetized. Under-monetized.
That's still amazing that they. Well, I think live streaming does corporate, talks and stuff is really dumb. Because you find out exactly how they feel about you when they're like,
Uh-oh. No, I was just seeing anything in the phone.
Oh, anybody, yeah.
I wonder how healthy that is.
What?
Well, I mean, I suppose it's healthy for a business. Like if you're able to find out fairly quickly, right, how the public or how you feel the public is kind of perceiving you. Nope, that bow is noticeably smaller than.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's curved, but now I was just going through heads to see if there was a possible head I like better for this elf caster.
Oh, yeah.
On some of the Frostgrave sprues. So far, no. And they're not bad. They kind of don't say elf.
Also, Abyss was saying, I'm seeing the D&D YouTube channels, taking victory laps. Yeah. We did it, guys. We did it. People threw the same fit with paid mods with Bethesda and Steam, and yet all of them came back. Yeah, people just let it happen without a second fight. Yeah, Chris is right that WotC will try it again and again, and each time there will be less and less fight, and it will gradually become a new norm.
Yep, that's the thing, man.
Because they're hoping, because the thing that's really going to suck is the user agreement for using their digital platform is going to be really bad. the subscription user agreement is going to suck, and they want to get all of this out of the way before they hit you with that, because that was a Hero Forge, that 3D thing where you can print customize and print your minis. They released this weird
where they owned everything.
They owned everything, so you can't even like use an image of it and say, this is my character. It's like, oh yeah, you own everything that I came up with for my player character in the game.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah,
don't use their stuff.
So just software and tabletop just don't think the same way, so it's going to be real hard to get these people that are programming everything to understand what the expectations are going to be.
Well, why would you think something different though?
Yeah.
And also, like, okay, like you said, sorry, I was looking at swords here. Like you said, the big companies are just like, they're just going to try it again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, unless you... That's the thing about, like, all these victory laps, and we did it! And first of all, no, you fucking didn't. Right?
Right.
Like, hardly any of this is about you, right? So, this allows you to feel good and go back to playing the game and go back to give Hasbro money. Because, yeah, we showed them. We're not gonna take this, right? And D&D is ours. And, buddy, the dragon is still fucking raking in money, right? That's all they care about.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it wasn't even a speed bump in their their plan to.
But they're just gonna keep trying it again, right? Yeah. So like, oh well, we kind of made a misstep on that one. Okay, dial it back a bit and give them some kind of conciliatory thing,
right?
And then just try it again. You know, like I said on Twitter, part of my irritation here is everyone going, okay, like, look, I understand you published stuff under the OGL, and actually maybe I'll use that scroll instead of just the one open hand. Anyway, you publish stuff under the OGL and you're making money, and it sucks that there was the chance you were going to lose it. Huh. I don't know if that looks elfy enough. Sorry, I'm just looking at all these spellcaster heads I have. But everyone's saying, yeah, we're going back to the OGL 1.1 and it's irrevocable now. And okay, we all saw that post from the original architect of the OGL saying that almost the primary purpose of the OGL was to make it so that everything kind of got homogenized, and a vast majority of games used WotC's mechanics and everyone associated with D&D, and the goal, not even like a side effect, the goal was to make it difficult for other games to survive.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's why people like me are always like yelling their heads off when it's like adapted for 5e. Adapted for 5e. We're making this for 5e. And it's like, you're not... Okay, I get it. Right? It's the big game, and making something for it makes you money.
Yeah.
And gets you that built-in audience. But the more stuff you make, or the more stuff that gets made for D&D, the less reason people have to go look at other games. And like, you're fueling the dragon again, right? All these people saying, yeah, we can go back to making stuff with the OGL 1.1, and it's like, you're going to be in this situation. Well, maybe not this exact same situation again if the stuff is irrevocable, but like, you're still doing it. You're still making it so that people are kind of disincentivized from going to play other games and making it harder for other game companies to survive. And trickle-down economics don't work here, right?
Right.
And I have to think that part of the reason that people don't seem to care is they're part of the cool thing.
Yeah, right.
They're part of the cool thing. They're part of the popular thing. They're part of the big game. And when people were talking about switching over to Pathfinder, okay, yeah, sure. I'm sure some of it, for some people, is... I've heard a lot about this game. I was playing D&D before. They both do the same thing. There was no reason for me to look at it. Oh, now I can't stand what WotC is doing. And I'm sure some people honestly said, yeah, okay, right? It's the next D&D, so let's go try that one. Some people, and I don't have numbers, and I never will have numbers, some people, the fact that it was number 2 was a factor in that, right?
Oh, yeah.
I need to be part of, like, what's the next popular thing? What's the second biggest one, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because and people were instantly even making videos about that. D&D players, try Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Or, introduction to Pathfinder, second edition.
Even on, I think it was even on, like, Forbes or, like, Dicebreaker, all those other ones, like, best beginner Pathfinder books or all this stuff. And just like, okay, yeah, I'm sure that some people honestly said, cool, let's go try that. Other people said, we need to go there because it's number 2.
Yeah.
Right? It's the next one.
Where do we go? Yeah, that's true.
So I had a small thread about after seeing some people talk about like Powered by the Apocalypse, like I had a small thread about, okay, look, if you honestly want to like change games or interested in doing other games, here's 2 suggestions. One, and you give me these for free, people. One, or it was like play a non D20 game that is not traditional fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Or B, play a non D20 game that is traditional fantasy. Right, because different people's brains work in different ways. The risk with running or trying to learn a new game that is effectively D&D, class level traditional fantasy, you roll a D20, right? Is that it's a lot easier to assume something works this way because it worked that way in D&D when the rules might be a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Like the differences. Okay, like I said, different people work different ways. If you're really super familiar, your face, yeah, that's off mic, yeah, right. If you're really super familiar with D&D, maybe the differences, even little differences between it and another class level D20 based system will jump out at you. Right, like maybe you can read Shadow of the Demon Lord and instantly go, "Oh, here's what's different." Not everybody can.
Right.
And like the fact that some of the other things might be very similar might trick you into going, "Oh, this is also similar too," and you kind of gloss over the rules when no, it's actually not. Right. So playing a non D20 game lessens that risk or lessens that chance.
Yeah. That's true.
Playing a game that's a different genre, sci-fi, cyberpunk, superheroes, whatever, not falling back on the kind of normal fantasy tropes might help you better better differentiate the mechanics, right? Okay, we're not, right, standard fantasy, right? It's all kind of the same. Playing something different might help you go, oh, and we're a completely different mindset for these different rules, and you're more receptive. On the other hand, like not having to worry about learning a new setting and allowing you to only focus on the mechanics by running a traditional fantasy game might also help.
Right.
Like I've talked before about how it wasn't until reading Dungeon World where I first went, oh, this is how Powered by the Apocalypse games work, because I already knew the tropes, I already kind of knew the setting, and it was like, oh, here's how you kind of do this thing that I already know kind of how to do or what it looks like on screen in a traditional game, just in the Apocalypse World framework. Got it, right? Where reading other PBTA games, I'm like, it's kind of ain't making sense.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to like both focus on setting or genre and these new mechanics, right? Just take one of those out, right? So anyway, there's your choices, right?
Yeah.
A, B, just do whatever one works best for you. And you might not know what that is off the bat, right? But, I kind of badmouth Shadow of the Demon Lord a little bit, but not overtly so. Just I kind of didn't get... Nothing about that game really stood out for me.
Right.
Except for the spell that made people shit themselves to death.
Nice.
No, not nice. Opposite of nice. Shitting yourself to death is not nice.
You're making a death save and you're shitting yourself.
Okay, make a death save.
That's pretty funny.
Fail. What happened? Diarrhea.
Yeah.
What are we, 5? My kid would love that.
Yeah.
That would be
her favorite character death.
No, well, not her favorite. But no, I've had to like put a moratorium on like poop jokes and stuff. Just like, no, this is not funny. Okay, like that's the thing about being a parent, right? The thing about being a parent is being able to act that something is not funny when it actually kind of is, specifically because you do not want this thing to keep happening. Right. And sometimes my partner's very terrible at that because you can't hide her laughter. Right? Also, my kid has now figured out that, when I kind of like cover my face or look away, she's like, "Oh, you're laughing." Right? Like, I don't know where she got it from. Oh, parenting segue, right?
Yeah.
Don't know where she got it from. She started doing a booby dance today, where she was like talking about like she wasn't doing anything except saying booby, 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 and it was like, okay, I'll admit, it was pretty funny, right? It was stupid, but it was pretty funny. But like, I didn't want her to keep doing it, especially like outside the house, or
Right,
daycare.
right.
So I kind of had to do the okay, that's like I let it go for a little bit, hoping she would wear herself out. No, she had like a terminal case of the sillies, and I'm like, this is not going to wear itself out. That's not funny. Except it is, but I can't admit it. I can't admit to it being funny. Right?
Don't let her know. Yeah.
Don't know where she came up with that one. Yeah. Booby.
That's funny. Kids. Where did they get this? All that
I don't know.
stuff.
I used to think.
Look at that. Look at that. 450.
Yeah,
right?
450.
For
We could
550.
do. We could do.
550.
Oh yeah, 550.
Yeah,
550. Yeah.
No, I should. No, I have actually. Yeah,
We could do 500.
I think this. I'm not sure if this thing is totaling right because I don't think that's right because I already have 50, 380. No. Oh yeah, no, that's right.
So what's in this 500 point list for viewers or
Oh
listeners?
yeah, the
right?
500 point list. I've got 2 champions, a spellcaster, 10 archers, 13 soldiers. Because I was going to put the spellcaster and a champion in the soldiers, giving me 3 ranks of soldiers.
Oh, interesting. I kind of want to see how that works. Only because in the book they say spellcasters are probably not that effective as part of a unit.
Oh, really? That they should be? Oh, because they need to be in range to like buff and things.
No, I
They
think
should, they should work as.
I think of maybe because of how. Well, I got the book here that I'm sitting on. Maybe because of how characters work and how you're not going to be able to leave. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or it might be because you're possibly going to want the spellcaster to be able to walk around and be a bit more unconstrained by a unit to be able to like target.
And they can't be targeted except by a champion, right? Or if they're an individual.
You might want to see what it says about units of 1.
Yeah, because I think. Let's see.
Because there's one difference from, in addition to scale, I think there's one difference from War Master. Whereas, like in War Master, you just can't target the character, right? They're effectively like kind of tokens, right? You can attach them to units, and if the unit gets...
Oh, yeah, yes, it does say, spellcaster. What is usually units of 1. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I thought,
Well, I mean, you don't... It says usually, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to. So I kind of want to do... I kind of want to see how it would work.
Because unless there is something... Because, the thing I was thinking is if, I'm doing something... I'm buffing these guys and they're charging in, the archers are going to stay back, and if there's something that would help them be more resistant or be more resilient when they got engaged.
Still a funny word, engaged. And I get married.
A single figure. Ooh.
I'm sorry. You might want to look in the part in the advanced rules about characters.
Oh,
because maybe that would explain a bit more about why you might want to not have them as...
Okay. Combat champions. Oh, spellcaster 65.
Oh yeah. You might want to flip to the even before that where it talks about characters in general, because you got champions, commanders, and then characters in combat.
Okay. Yeah. So a character is a unit that generally fights as part of that unit. The character may contribute combat dice to the total. But uses fight and defense stats. Ignores the character. Alternatively, the player may declare that a character is fighting alone, and in this case, use the character's stats, including their combat dice, and ignore the rest of the unit. Oh, so I guess it can be, in a rank of the unit, but fighting separately, so that you're rolling, I guess, separately.
I think it's because like in Oathmark, 5 combat dice is the max you're ever going to roll. So like
Right.
if you have this like completely like brutal character and maybe like a little weedy unit,
Yeah.
that might be a situation where
Right.
you want the character to
And
fight
if
for
that
themselves.
rank, and if the ranks bonus doesn't matter,
Mm.
then you could just have them fighting alone. So like officer's character must always be the last casualty in a unit. For the usually character fights alone.
Aha, Abyss says I'm right about Watsy trying it again. And yes, I am right.
Oh yes.
I enjoy hearing that. Yep.
They have the rules for characters. Spellcasters have the rules for characters. More effective when operating as units of 1. Oh, okay. Select the number of spells. Whenever you activate the spellcaster, you must spend an action to attempt to cast a spell. Bum, bum, bum.
See, it doesn't specifically say like why they're more effective as a unit of 1.
Yeah.
It might be because of the, like just like I said, kind of being able to get around more easily to cast the spells.
Right. Oh, and also too, and probably because they can't cast spells if they're in 2 inches of an enemy unit, and so as soon as the one that you're ranked in is engaged, then your spellcaster is just like la 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 la. It's just
I can contribute some combat dice.
Yes, would you like my lousy combat? Yeah, so that makes sense because if they're engaged, you just keep them, and then the range of spells. Especially if they're offensive, then you can keep them at the distance.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Okay, well that makes more sense then. So I'll keep him away, and then but still that'll still work though to keep him back.
Oops, I keep bumping on
Alright.
mic. Sorry.
Yeah, I like this weird pose, this weird stiff arm shield and stuff. It makes a lot more variety because if everyone was doing, because I can do a row of the shields up and then a row of the kind of running with your shield, not doing much. But then I'm gonna have all these weird little stumpy arms. I gotta find something to do with these little. I guess that's an injury, right? I can make a little splint. Yeah, do a little. Oh, nice. Hey Miguel, how's it going?
Oops, I knocked down one of your.
Oh yeah,
Wizard's
yeah.
Tusks.
So Wizards of the Coast is trying to get a series going on HBO. Wow, HBO. That's too good for
HBO? Is it?
Yeah, because I think that that E1 or whatever. Yeah, they're trying to develop a bunch of stuff for.
Oh yeah, the one that didn't E1 just shed a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. They got rid of. And I was surprised how much stuff they had their hands in. It was a little too much, actually. A little disturbing how.
That's how things work now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And that's why you see, like the credits and things, the production credits. You see like so many titles now. It's like all the Chinese investors, all the different production houses and stuff that had their hands in every part. Yeah, these guys are ranking up okay too.
It's 550 points right there. Oh no, it isn't actually good.
Okay, so I need.
Oh, it is 7.
Oh wow, it is. Yeah, 7 o'clock. Oh, it must be dinner time. We got to review Abyss's message, which was an emoji. Why did it hold an emoji? That's so funny. Nice. So.
You might not want to see this.
That they might want to. So now they're talking about they may want to sell the movie division. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to hear based on the box office of this D&D movie. Maybe they'll just say, yeah, this is not profitable. It's not going to, improve our brand at all. Improve these crucial 5 brands we're pushing. The last thing they want is fans screaming nasty things about D&D.
They got it.
Yeah,
well,
right.
fans. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, for the people who are wondering what that sound is, I'm trying to take a picture of this 500. Actually, it's not 550. 240. It's 520. This 520, which I might just leave it at that, just because I like round numbers. Unit or small little army of what are gonna be kind of dark elves. If you're wondering why you're getting that sound, it's because in Japan you cannot turn off camera shutter sounds.
Oh, right. Just in case you're upskirting
Yeah.
with your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Fun little fact about Japan: you cannot turn that sound off, just to prevent perverts
Yeah, right.
from taking pictures. Right? How's that?
Nice.
Focus, damn you.
Oh yeah. So these guys are going in the back anyhow.
Not focusing. Focus. Not good enough. I guess. Yeah. Okay, that'll be okay. There. Go.
All right.
Am I touching the screen somewhere? There we go. All right, cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
that
need
looks okay.
2 more.
I think I'll delete that. There we go. Move to trash.
My crazy Sailor Moon casters spinning there in the corner. All right.
There we go.
Cool. Where's the cursor? There it is. Nice. Oh, cool. Miguel's hobbying today too. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
doing the building the Necrons. Very cool.
Ooh, Necrons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Miguel was talking about. Oh, that's right. That was after you left. Is doing a kind of evil robot team for Stargrave.
Oh,
yeah, doing
with using
Necrons,
Necrons? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
That would look awesome.
If there's one, not collecting GW figures, right? But if there was one thing about the Necrons I liked, it's that they included that like glowing green. If that's still the case,
Yeah.
that glowing green plastic rod.
Oh,
for you
yeah,
to
yeah.
Put in, like,
That's
I'm like,
right,
that's
right. Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I did like that.
Yeah, one more piece.
Still haven't figured out how to play Necrons in combat cards.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just sticking with Tau.
Nice. Oh, yeah, I like that. The leaders that when they come in, your big like 300-point guys that have all their health back.
Oh, yeah.
And then plus they get the 20% buff on.
I'm actually not using that one.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That's the one I started with, the Commander Shadow Sun, where it's like, okay, it was pretty cool, right? It's when you play the last card in your deck.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Kind of encouraging a very kind of weather the storm kind of play style. Then heal all the current cards up to full health and plus 20 attack. I was playing that one for a while. I use Dark Strider now.
What's the
The special ability where whenever one of your Tau cards changes lanes, you do 50% ranged attack damage to the lane you just left.
Right. Yeah.
I've played a couple mirror matches, like 5 or 6 mirror matches now against Commander Dark Strider. I don't know if these people are in some kind of group where they refuse to use the special ability, or if they just are trying out a deck and don't know how to play.
Yeah.
Because whenever one of my I almost want one of my little drones or little weak units to get blown up, because then the new card gets deployed on the other side, and everybody shifts over, and it's got 50% damage, got 50% damage. And if you've managed to kill one of the opponent's cards, they don't miss the attack. If there's nobody there, they go to the next person. It's like, gotcha, right?
Yeah.
The amount of damage I can cough out just from shifting things around is phenomenal.
Interesting. Wow.
Every mirror match I have played, nobody shifts position. Nobody shifts position. Like the middle card dies. That's where the new card gets deployed. And I'm like,
wow.
Are you intentionally missing this ability?
Yeah, interesting.
Because that's how I get my wins, right? It's especially great when, because of how the timing works, the turn has started, you through some special ability got to like eliminate one of my cards, and I get to like slide everybody over and drop a new one, while you still and I kill one of your cards, meaning you don't get to deploy, meaning I have 3 to your 2. Like that's such a great. It's shit when it happens to you. You're like, oh, son of a bitch, right?
Right.
But like when you get to pull it off, you're like, oh, this is great, right? So I've tried playing other Tau decks. There's one commander I forget. It's like Honored Somebody, where it's like, whenever your cards suffer damage, you get 40, something like either 40 or 20%. Anyway, you get a small boost to that attack score for the damage you just suffered, right? So it's like, oof, you just pounded me for 40 points of range damage. I increased my range score by 20 points.
Yeah.
Those are against good players. Those are a bear to play against, because you're like, didn't kill any of your guys and just made them all stronger on the return attack. Right. And you're like, oh, this. I've tried playing as that commander, and I just don't.
Yeah,
I can't make it work, right? Because it doesn't work if your card gets killed. So if like a lot of people like target it, so I've done that. I'm having the most. I think. Okay, going way back to our discussion we were having about Marvel Snap. Part of my enjoyment of playing Warhammer 40K combat cards, and specifically Commander Darkstrider, and to a lesser extent one of this other Space Marine commanders, because I understand how their special ability works. I understand enough to build a competent deck, where if I'm going through, I'm like, okay, this is going to not combo, but this will work well. So understanding the mechanics of the game and the deck I'm playing are what is increasing my enjoyment of the game, right?
I see. Yeah.
I feel that whenever I get a new card, or whenever I'm going up against like a new opponent or something, I'm like, okay, I have enough information to make what I feel are informed choices. Marvel Snap and like other games that when you're just starting out, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Right.
Yeah,
what does that even? Yeah.
What does that even do, right? Like, I guess I'll do this, right? And you kind of not able to judge whether or not you were doing it pretty good, or whether you were making the correct choice or not, right? Because I didn't feel I have enough information. So yeah, there's something to be said about just like going for it and doing it. And I've tried to make other decks, like I want to make a Tyranid deck, right? That's my faction, and I just like don't have a good enough cards apparently, or I'm just like, every time I've played I'm like, wow, I got fucking smoked, right? Like, or I don't know what I'm doing, right? So it's still kind of fun, but I'm just like, it's not as fun or as rewarding, because I'm like, I don't know if that was me or just kind of like bad deck building skills or something like that. So yeah, anyway, that's why. Yeah,
that's true. Nice.
I think I'm getting a little. Combat cards is very much pay to play though. Like sometimes when you go up against your like epic card, level 9, buddy, you when the entire side is like epic or legendary cards for a really high level, you're like, okay, you dropped a lot of money on this, right? And there's nothing I can do as someone who refuses to pay money for this to beat your cards, right? So this is just going to be a stomping, right? And it kind of sucks where I think the new ranked season started at the beginning of the month. I'm getting smoked, right? Yeah. Because I think what happened is, like, below a certain level or below a certain rank, you kind of reset, right? So all the people who are good stay at kind of a higher level. All the people who dropped money on these really fancy, flashy decks but don't pilot them well got bumped down to my level. So now I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. I can't win against these really like, you dropped a lot of money on that deck. You're not, I'm guessing, not that good of a player, but your cards are still better than mine, and I'm watching my rank go whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, that's rough.
So sometimes it's real frustrating when I'm just like, motherfucker, I am playing this again, right? Like there was that limiting factor of only being able to hold 4 victory packs and then waiting 3 or 8 or however many hours before you open one, because there's almost no point. There is point, but there's there's less of an incentive to play
keep playing,
when
yeah.
all of those victory packs are filled. And when I have like one that's empty and it's like boom, lost, boom, lost, boom, I'm just like, I know I should go to bed, not until I get that last filled. Going again, right? So,
Right.
yeah. Anyway, I enjoy it, except when I don't.
Yeah.
Right? Then I'm just like, yeah, I haven't thrown my phone yet.
That's good.
But yeah, sometimes you just see what other commander you're up against. You're like, oh, this motherfucker again. I hate playing against this deck.
You guys watch the new GW? Oh yeah. Abyss. Yeah, that's right. Abyss was talking about that. Yeah, so that's the Las Vegas Open
Where they released
reveals.
a whole bunch of new Primaris stuff.
Yeah, right. We got Marines with big rocket guns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I don't mind.
Miguel's calling them compensators.
Yeah, because they're like they're not devastators because we already have the devastator team. They're called like desolators or something like that. And you're just like, who's naming these? And yeah, I've seen other people call them compensators because they just have a big missile gun, right. And they're not even like holding it like this, right? They're just like one-handed with this gun that is bigger than they are tall.
Right,
and they're already Primaris Marines, right? But okay, look, if you're going into that game for realism.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I'm the only one who doesn't mind the new Primaris Marine compensators, where I'm just like, they're fine, right? Compared to the other nonsense that you're putting out, they're fine. I mean, Astra Militarum is basically like piloting walking churches onto the battlefield and all this stuff. It's fine, right?
Nice. Yeah, comical. People are really upset. And how they do not make sense. Yeah, it's so funny, the like people's tolerance for and I think maybe 40K is getting more and more serious. Like I think there's a lot of players that don't even want orcs to be in 40K anymore because they're too ridiculous. They're too.
But even I think that it's been a while since I've read any kind of official GW 40K stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking like fiction, like the books. So I can't say what the tone of new orc stuff is, right? Uh-huh. But it seems like, only from osmosis and stuff I'm picking up, is yes, the whole kind of franchise or the whole IP is going more serious, which is I think kind of a problem. Right, especially like when you start out as a parody of all this stuff, right? Then it kind of nobody being good. This is all parody. The orcs are basically just like football hooligans, right? As a different color, like the Imperium is obviously not good because they're just so ridiculously ordered. Chaos is not good because they're so ridiculously chaotic. But they're none of this is supposed to be serious. Then when you get to the tone of some of the newer stuff, it seems like they are going serious, and I think that ends up being kind of problematic. Oops, forgot to put away my barbarian back there. Anyway, yeah. But I can kind of understand thinking that the orcs don't really fit anymore.
Right, yeah. It's changed enough. Yeah, it's funny. Space Marines do not have sexy time.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so what are they compensating for?
Yeah, they're all...
What about the saunas? Oh, no. Oh, no. Very cool. Yeah, that's the only problem with new releases is that, they're going to be so expensive. It's not even... Yeah, it's going to be painful, too.
I am not even bothering to look at the cost of any of those boxes or any of that stuff. I mean, the last time I was in the GW down in Namba to pick up some contrast paints, just because I hate myself, I looked at the price on one of the box of like Ossiarch Bone Reaper kind of thing. I'm like, that's a big amount. How the fuck can you get off charging?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like basically like $150.
Right.
For like one model. Like, granted, that model looks pretty cool. Granted, like it possibly has like 2 or 3 different ways to put it together. Right. You're only going to need one for your army. Still, how the fuck do you get off charging $150 for this thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
And people buy it.
Yep. They get purchased. Nice. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna call it.
Cool.
It's dinner time. Yeah, dinner time in Japan.
Yeah,
So,
it was like 7.
yeah. Thanks everyone for watching.
Sorry for the
and,
technical trouble. That was not caused by me.
Yeah,
right?
that was brutal. Yeah, so it's not been a good week for streaming, but hopefully we'll be
What's
back.
the weekly
on,
win, okay?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no problem with the weekly. So I don't know what it was. Maybe weather or Saturday. I don't know. We'll see.
It's GW.
But, yeah, Abyss. Yeah,
GW
right. It was
and Hasbro.
GW. Yeah, Hasbro was fucking with us. So yeah, Abyss, thanks for hanging in there the whole time. And Miguel, good to see you. And yeah, we'll be back with the weekly.
Give us pictures of the Stargrave Necrons.
Oh yeah. When you get some paint on those, yeah.
Even before.
Let us see.
I'm posting like half painted miniatures, and yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
let
want to
us
see
see
what
some.
those look like.
Yeah, let us see those evil space robots
Yeah.
for Stargrave. Okay, so take care. See you next time.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye.